A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Topper. Oh, Topper.
Oh, Topper, darling. We're back.
Oh, dear. Here we go again.
The Adventures of Topper, starring Roland Young. The Adventures of Topper is a new comedy series based on Thorne Smith's hilarious bestseller and is brought to you by the makers of those bubbly light crisper cornflakes, Post Toasties.
We toast them crisp, we toast them light. You can tell by the taste we toast them. They're a tasty treat, so good to eat. Delicious and light from toasting. Post Toasties.
And you know what? We like 'em.
And now let's meet Topper.
Hello, my name is Cosmo Topper. I suppose some of you have a couple of friends who are considered nobodies. Well, I have a couple of friends who actually have no bodies. A pair of ghosts named George and Marion Kirby, and the trouble they've caused me. If things continue as they are, they'll be the death of me yet. As a matter of fact, they nearly were last week. You see, last Saturday, I was in my bedroom packing when Malvena...
Cosmo? Oh, Cosmo, what are you doing? Packing?
Well, I have to go on a trip. Business trip, very urgent.
But, Cosmo, you know my mother is coming to pay us a visit today. This business trip must have come up very suddenly.
Did, Malvena, did, yes.
But I only told you my mother was coming last night. When did this trip become so urgent?
Last night.
Oh, Cosmo. Every time Mother comes to visit us, it seems you have to go away on a business trip. Mother's only going to be here for 2 weeks.
Well, I'll only be gone for 2 weeks.
Cosmo, you don't appreciate my mother. Why, she and Dad were always so fond of you. Right up to the time he died, Dad wanted to make you a partner in his business.
Yes, I know, Malvena.
And after he died, Mother wanted to give you his business.
I know, Malvena. She still wants to give me the business.
Cosmo, I know why you want to get out of town. You probably imagine that you're going to keep a rendezvous with those dead Kirbys.
Oh, no, Malvena, nothing like that.
Well, you can't deny that you still see them, Cosmo. Why, only last night you had another of those dreams of yours.
Did I, Malvena?
In your dreams, you used to complain that George Kirby annoyed you. Then Marion was kissing you. And last night I distinctly heard you say something about Marion being on your lap.
Yes, Malvena, I guess my dreams are getting better all the time.
Well, it's about time you got that delusion out of your head, Cosmo. You know the Kirbys were buried a long time ago.
Yes, and they've been kicking dirt in my eyes ever since.
Well, let's not dwell on those dead Kirbys, Cosmo. We were talking about you going away. And you're not going.
But why can't I go, Malvena?
Well, because you've got a cold. I distinctly heard you sneeze.
But, Malvena, I didn't sneeze.
Well, I didn't, and there's no one else in this bedroom. Oh, there. Now, how do you explain that second sneeze?
Oh, well, maybe one good germ deserves another.
Oh, poor Cosmo. You are ill.
Really, Malvena, I didn't.
But another word out of you. Now you're going straight to bed. Start undressing. Now, go on. Get under the covers. And I'll bring you your hot water bottle.
Couldn't you bring me something else? I've been going to bed with a hot water bottle for years.
Cosmo, isn't it lucky Mother's coming? She'll nurse you back to health. You know what her nursing did for Father.
Yes, Malvena, but he would have died anyway.
Oh, dear Cosmo, get under those covers immediately. Now, go on. Give me your pants. Go on, the pants, Cosmo.
You want to wear this pair, too, Malvena?
Now, when I come back, I want to see you under those covers.
George, Marion, just because you're invisible, you needn't think I don't know you're here.
Hello, Topper.
Hello, Topper.
All the dirty tricks you two have pulled, the sneezing act was the dirtiest. When you keep a man from escaping his mother-in-law, well, no wonder they call you low-plane spirit.
Well, Topsy, we couldn't help it. George has a cold.
A bad cold.
Sir, the ghost of the cold. And I suppose if you had a body, every bone in it would ache.
Oh, Topper, this is no time for kidding. Even a ghost can catch cold, you know.
I suppose you got caught with your sheets down.
Oh, cut it out, will you, Topper? It's very simple. I was trying to get to heaven last night. Well, it's quite a climb. I got tired and decided to rest on one of those fluffy clouds. How should I know it was a rain cloud?
And that's the way you caught cold?
Don't let him hand you that. He got caught in a draft between two swinging doors.
Oh, what difference does it make now? I've got the chills. Come on, Topper, move over. Will you let me get in between those warm blankets?
Nothing doing. You made my bed, but I'm the only one who's going to lie in it.
Oh, Topsy, dear, how can you be so cruel? George is sick. He needs medical attention.
Sure, that's right. And Topper, you're the only one we could come to.
George, I'm always the only one you can come to. Why don't you two stray spirits go back where you belong?
But, Topper, we can't get into heaven yet.
I was not pointing in that direction.
Oh. Well, all you have to do is let George share the bed with you, darling. And I'll be here to nurse the two of you.
Sure, Topper. Marion will be a regular Florence Nightingale.
Nightingale? I suppose that's her newest way of giving me the bird.
Don't be such an old sourpuss. Now, go on. Move over.
Yeah, come on, will you? Come on. And don't hug all the blankets. Come on.
Well, comfy, George?
Oh, boy. Sure, Topper, sure. Oh, it isn't so bad with me in the same bed with you, is it? How do you feel?
Like a candidate for mausoleum.
Now, stop that. There's no use in being dejected. The sooner George gets better, the sooner you'll get out of bed.
And how is George going to get better?
Oh, it's very simple. When you get treated, George gets treated. When you take medicine, George takes medicine. Whatever you get, George gets.
Really? Hand me the arsenic, will you?
Oh, Topper, cut it out.
Are you in bed?
Yes, you what, Top? Now, remember, if she wants to give you any medicine, ask her for some more for George, and we'll do the rest.
Oh, Cosmo, you took my advice. Now, don't you feel better in bed? All warm and comfortable.
Yes, Malvena.
But, Cosmo, why are you so far over on the right? Why don't you get over more to the center of the bed?
Well, I hate to be a road hog, Malvena.
Oh, Cosmo, don't be silly. Oh, you poor dear. Oh, but don't you worry. I've got just the thing for you. Mother's favorite mixture. She's been enjoying this mixture for years.
With or without the olives?
Oh, don't be insulting. It's just a simple remedy of sulfur and yeast.
No, not sulfur and yeast, Malvena.
Now, open your mouth. There. That's right. Now, just 1 teaspoonful for me.
Oh, that was bitter.
And now 1 teaspoonful for Uncle Harry.
No, Malvena, we're not going through all your relatives. I can't take any more of this, Malvena.
Don't you be selfish, Top. You get some more of that medicine for George.
What was that?
I said leave the bottle on the night table. I may want some later.
Oh, you do like the medicine. How wonderful. You drink the whole bottle down right now. Here. Come on.
Help.
A little more now. Oh.
I'm drowning. Take that bottle away.
Oh, just a little more. Cosmo, you bit my fingers. You're getting violent. The fever must have gone to your head. Oh, I'll call the doctor immediately.
Well, a deal like this shouldn't be tough to take at all. Why, before you know it, you'd be able to sit up and take nourishment again. Some delicious Post Toasties. You know, there's nothing quite as refreshing as heaping bowl full of those golden brown flakes swimming in rich milk. Yes, in Post Toasties you have grand sunny flavor combined with a bubbly lightness so that every spoonful is toasty and crisp to the last delicious bite. Add to that the nourishment value in a single bowl full of Post Toasties, and you have some idea why it's one of America's favorite breakfast cereals. You'll find that Post Toasties are rich in food energy and supply important food values of the whole grain. So that's why we urge you to buy 'em and try 'em, friends. You'll like 'em.
George, Topper, the doctor's arrived. I heard him talking to Malvena. It's a Dr. Blight.
Dr. Blight, you mean that old bone crusher?
Yeah, who is he? I don't want any old buzzard poking into my ectoplasm.
Let me remind you, my invisible friend, it's my body that's going to get the abuse.
George, stop belly aching. Dr. Blight's one of the most expensive men in town.
It's Dr. Blight, all right. Just one of his massages means the difference between a spry young man and a tired old one.
Really, Topper? You mean you enter a tired old man and in one treatment you leave a spry young man?
Not exactly, George. If when you leave, you're the tired old man. You're not going to lay a hand on me. I'm going.
Oh, no, you can't run out on us now. If you do, George will never get medical attention.
When I stay with that bone crusher, I'll need medical attention.
Hey, honey, I got an awful funny feeling. This cold's playing havoc with my ectoplasm. I feel as if I'm going to materialize.
But you can't materialize. Doctor will be here in a minute.
I'm sorry, Top. I can't control it. Here I go. Well, how do I look?
George, I hate to say it, but you look better invisible.
In this room, Dr. Bly. Go right in.
George, get under the covers. Quick, hide.
Oh, Cosmo, dear. Now we're going to find out just what's wrong with you. Here's Dr. Bly to examine you.
Well, and how are we today?
Well, fine. I'm fine.
Oh, Cosmo, what on earth are your feet doing out of the covers?
George, those are your feet.
Cosmo, I never realized your feet were so large.
Well, the yeast went to my feet, Malvena.
Cosmo, pull those feet under the covers. Do you hear me?
You'll have to talk louder, Malvena. I guess my feet are asleep.
Oh, stop this nonsense and pull those feet in immediately.
Truth of the matter is I can't control those feet.
Very interesting. You mean we can't walk on our feet, Mr. Topper?
Believe me, Doctor, I wish I could get those feet to take a walk.
Well, then let's take a look at our big feet.
No, you mustn't touch those feet. Besides, the cold is in my head.
Oh, head or feet, to me, there's no difference.
No. It'd be interesting to see you kiss your wife good night.
Yes, well, now, what you need, Mr. Topper, is one of my special deluxe treatments. It will raise Mr. Topper's temperature, raise Mr. Topper's blood pressure, raise Mr. Topper's circulation.
And lower Mr. Topper's bank account?
And now, are we ready for our first little exercise? It's very similar to artificial respiration. Now, just turn over, Mr. Topper, while I kneel on the side of the bed.
Must I, Doctor?
Turn over, Cosmo.
Oh, all right, Malvena.
Now. Let's get on with our little treatment. Now, I put my hands on the small of your back, and then I press down.
Doctor, not so hard.
Now we begin. And out goes the bad air.
Oh.
In comes the good. Bad air.
Oh.
In comes the good. Oh, my. What's the matter?
More bad air coming in than good.
Now, I'm sure this is doing us a lot of good, Mr. Topper. Why don't we try to breathe? Now, let me show us how. Like this.
Like that?
Yes, just like this.
I can't. I'm not that sick.
Oh, now, here for our second step. Shall we try it, Mr. Topper? It's very strenuous. I have to work my fingers to the bone.
Yes, my bone.
Mr. Topper, this happens to be my famous bone treatment. Now, first we start with our legs. I grab our legs, and then I bend them at our knees like this. Back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. Seems to me we detect the sound of creaking, Mr. Topper. Ah, well, no matter. A little more work, and you know what will happen.
We'll detect the sound of breaking.
Cosmo, don't try to be funny. The doctor's only trying to help you.
Well, that's enough for the time being. Now we'll take our pulse and temperature.
Oh, thank goodness.
And if the results aren't good enough, we'll repeat the treatment immediately.
Oh, no.
When he reaches for your pulse, Top, George will stick his hand out of the covers.
Now, here we are. Let's take this thermometer and put it in our mouth.
Hey, Topper, give it to me. I'll put it in my mouth when the doctor isn't looking.
And now for our pulse. Let me have your hand, Mr. Topper. My. Good heavens.
Oh, what's the matter, Doctor?
Why, heavens, there is no pulse.
Oh, what does that mean, Doctor?
It means the man is dead.
Oh!
Here, let me see that thermometer.
Here it is, Doctor.
Oh, no, I don't believe it. He has no temperature at all. He's dead. He is dead.
Doctor, I'm talking to you.
Yes, I know. You're talking to me, but you're dead. Oh, no, what am I saying? Okay, you're dead and you're talking to me. Oh, I must be going crazy. Oh, let me out of here. I'm going to see a doctor. doctor!
Cosmo, there's something very peculiar about this. You may be dead to the doctor, but you'd better be alive when my mother gets here.
Topper, old man, thanks to you, I'm on my feet again. My cold seems all gone.
Oh, it does. If you ask me, all George needed was to sleep off his hangover.
I suppose George was put in the best of condition by the beating I took.
Topper, it put me right into the pink.
You even look in the pink. Now that you've recovered your health, why don't you two lovable spirits run off and leave me to the tender mercies of my mother-in-law?
Oh, but Topsy, we're not ungrateful. Now George and I are going to help you.
Sure, Topper. We have a great plan, a wonderful idea.
Oh, no more of your ideas. Your first idea put me in a sick bed. I suppose your next idea will put me in a coffin.
Why, Topsy, that is the idea. How'd you guess?
Oh, no, not a coffin.
Topper, it's so simple. If you want to get away from your mother-in-law, you'll have to get out of the house. And the doctor thinks you're dead, doesn't he? So you go out of the house in the coffin.
Well, how can I play dead?
Well, you could get stiff.
No, the whole plan isn't feasible. To be carried out in a coffin, you must have a death certificate.
We have taken care of that. When Dr. Blight was here, Marion just stole a death certificate right out of his bag.
She did? Now, there's a doctor who comes to his patients prepared. But I won't. I can't.
Oh, come on. Be reasonable, Topper. Mother-in-law is coming in a couple of hours. Malvena's blocking your way. You don't want to be stuck in this house for 2 weeks, do you?
Heaven forbid. Well, this plan might get me out of the house,
And if Malvena thinks you're dead, maybe she'll appreciate you a little more in the future.
But, how am I going to convince Malvena that I'm dying?
You are going to play a deathbed scene. And at the end, we've arranged for your spirit to go to heaven.
My spirit to go to heaven? Aren't we carrying this plan a little too far?
Don't be silly, darling. George will be the spirit. And all you have to do is say, "Heaven is calling, there goes my spirit." And that'll be George's cue to half materialize in the misty light.
Sure, that's it. Now, Topper, I've got to call the undertaker, but I'll be back in time for my cue.
Oh, Topsy, this is going to be the greatest deathbed scene since Camille.
But, man, I hardly look like Garbo, you know.
Now, darling, Malvena's in the next room. You go right ahead and call her, as if you were very, very ill.
I'll try. Malvena? Oh, Malvena, come quickly.
Oh, yes, Cosmo, I'm coming. What is it?
Oh, Malvena, I think the time has come.
Cosmo, what is it?
Malvena, I think I'm dying.
Oh, Cosmo, don't speak like that. How can you say you're dying? Exactly what part of your body hurts?
I don't know, Malvena. I'm dying all over.
Dear, maybe you'll feel better if I make you more comfortable. Now, I'll straighten your blanket. There. Cosmo, what is this piece of paper on your bed?
Paper? What paper?
Why, Cosmo, it's a death certificate. Your death certificate. Signed by Dr. Blight. Oh, but Cosmo, you're not dead yet.
Well, he was so sure he probably left it in anticipation.
Oh, Cosmo, you mustn't die. Oh, you mustn't leave me. Oh, isn't there something I can do for you?
Malvena, you've done enough already. But I forgive you.
Oh, Cosmo, if you only wouldn't die. You could come and go just as you please.
Malvena, why didn't you tell me that 15 minutes ago?
And now you're leaving me, Cosmo. You're going far away. Far, far away.
I hadn't planned on going that far.
Oh, Cosmo, dear, in your last moments, are you thinking of me? What thoughts are running through your brain?
Well, I'm seeing my life pass before my eyes.
Oh, yes. Yes, Cosmo.
I'm seeing my carefree boyhood, my happy youth. And now, I'm getting married to you, Malvena.
Yes. Yes, what do you see now, Cosmo?
I've seen enough, Malvena.
Oh, Cosmo.
And now the time is getting short. Heaven is calling. There goes my spirit.
Oh, Cosmo, don't say that.
Heaven is calling. There goes my spirit.
Oh, Cosmo, this must be the moment.
Heaven is calling. There goes my spirit.
Dear, why do you repeat that?
I don't know what's holding up my spirit.
Well, George hasn't come back yet, Top. I guess I'll have to take a hand.
Oh, no.
Cosmo. Cosmo, what's happening? There seems to be a wisp of smoke above the bed.
No, Marion, no.
Oh, why, it's beginning to take form. Oh, that couldn't be your spirit, Cosmo. It's forming in the shape of a woman.
Maybe it's a messenger from heaven.
Why, the spirit is beckoning to you. The spirit is urging you to go with her. Oh, Cosmo, you're not leaving me.
Yes, Malvena, the spirit is willing and my flesh is weak.
Oh, Cosmo, come back! Cosmo, come back!
Bye, Malvena. Goodbye.
Well, that ought to teach anyone to do better by the boss. Frankly, we're in favor of you men asserting your rights. For instance, if the little woman always makes you get up and get the breakfast, surprise her over the holiday. Say to her, Dream Puss, you can bring me some golden brown post toasties. I'm having breakfast in bed. Now, isn't that a pretty picture? And just wait till you taste that first sunny spoonful of post toasties. Man, you'll find it mouth-watering, really swell. Post toasties have a grand flavor that just hints of golden summer corn, and you'll like the way they stay bubbly light to the last spoonful. From then on, you'll be asking for Post Toasties all the time, because they're so refreshing at breakfast, lunch, or snack time. So demand your rights, fella. Have the wife get in some golden brown Post Toasties. You'll like 'em.
We toast them crisp, we toast them light. You can tell by the taste we toast them. They're a tasty treat, so good to eat. Delicious and light from toasting. Post Toasties.
And you know what? We like 'em.
Man, that certainly was a great idea, convincing Malvena that I was dead. She's been in her room wailing for the last half hour.
Oh, now, Top, you stop fretting. You'll be out of here soon. You just leave everything to me.
Man, you're invisible. What can you do?
Well, if that's all that's worrying you, I'll materialize right now. Topper, here I come. Now that you see me, do you think I'm capable of doing something?
Quite.
Topsy, dear, you just relax. I'm going to take care of you. And when the undertaker comes, I'm going to be right by your side as your nurse.
You're going to be right by my side, Marion?
Mm-hmm. Holding your hand and smoothing your brow while you play dead.
Death, where is thy sting?
Oh, Topsy, there's the undertaker.
All right, men. Take it easy with that coffin. Cost them a dime a dozen, but coffins are valuable.
This Topsy. Play dead.
Okay, lady. Where's the body?
It's right over there on the bed, Mr. Undertaker. I'm the nurse for the late Mr. Topper.
Oh, you're the... Hey, lady. Haven't I seen you someplace before?
No, of course not.
Are you sure we didn't bump into each other at a funeral?
You must be mistaken.
You know, that's funny. I could have sworn I buried somebody like you a couple of months ago. You know, never forget a good-looking corpse.
Mr. Undertaker, don't you think that you'd better get on with your job?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. Well, where's the death certificate then?
Certificate? Oh, the certificate. Now, what I do with it?
Here it is, right on the bed, Mr. Undertaker.
All right, thanks a lot, mister. Hey, wait a minute. I could have sworn I heard the corpse talk.
Now, you know that's nonsense. A corpse can't talk.
Listen, I know it, lady. You know it. But does the corpse know it?
Well, surely a man in your profession doesn't believe in spirits.
Confidentially, lady, sometimes I got my doubts. That what I put under the ground stays under the ground.
Now, look, you're not trying to frighten me, are you?
Look, don't scare you too, lady. You know, when that happens to a man in my business, it's time to retire. After all these dead people, it's such a pleasure to talk to a live, flesh and blood lady like you.
Will you two stop talking nonsense and get me out of this house before Malvena gets back?
Yeah. It's time to retire right now.
Oh, stop shaking like a dish of Jell-O.
Mister, if a dead man spoke to you, you'd shake too. What am I saying?
But I'm not dead. You don't understand, Mr. Undertaker. This is all a trick to get me out of the house. Tell him I'm not dead, Marion.
You're not dead?
Well, of course he isn't dead. He doesn't look dead, does he?
Well, in his case, it's not a fair test.
Oh, don't be absurd. I'm as alive as you are. The only dead person in this room is Marion.
Marion?
Certainly. Me.
Please, lady, look, this is no time for joking.
Who's joking? I am dead.
And I'm alive.
You mean this gorgeous doll is dead and this dried-up little guy is alive? No, this is too confusing.
I'll tell you what, I'll let you in on a secret.
Huh?
You worked at my funeral last year.
What's that?
My name is Marion Kirby. Isn't it, Topper?
Of course. Who else could you be?
No, I don't believe it.
You don't? Well, maybe this will convince you. Watch me while I dematerialize.
No, it all comes back to me now. Mister, does this window lead to the street?
Marion, the Undertaker jumped through the window. What'll we do now?
Oh, Topsy, there's Malvena.
Now we're trapped.
Jump into bed, quick.
But I tell you, Mr. Topper, I did not sign our death certificate. That's why I returned.
Oh, it doesn't matter, Doctor. Poor Cosmo. Oh, this terrible tragedy.
Oh, hello, Malvena.
Oh, Cosmo. We thought you departed for a better place.
That's what I was trying to do all day. But my spirit deserted me.
Oh, Cosmo, this is wonderful. A miracle's come to pass. Oh, Dr. Blythe, thank you, but we won't need you any longer.
Just a moment. Let us take a look at Mr. Topper, shall we?
We're not going through that again, are we?
Well, Mr. Topper. Are we given to blushing?
Why, no.
Perhaps we just ate a sandwich with ketchup?
Of course not.
Then how do we feel?
Fine, in the pink.
Mm-hmm. You should be. You've got measles.
George didn't have a cold. He had measles, and I had to catch them.
Oh, well, Cosmo, you're very fortunate. Mother will be here any minute to nurse you.
Oh, heavens.
Just a moment, Mrs. Topper. We won't be able to have any visitors. We'll have to be quarantined. No one comes in and no one goes out for 2 weeks.
But that means Mother won't be able to visit us?
Measles. Lovely measles. Why didn't I think of getting them before?
Oh.
So good to the last drop. Ask anybody what product's known by those words. The answer is certain to be Maxwell House Coffee. For generations, those famous words have stood for coffee that's especially rich, mellow, full-bodied, and served piping hot or frostily iced. The flavor is dependably satisfying. For Maxwell House stands the test of fine coffee, the test of icing. Yes, more people buy Maxwell House than any other brand of coffee in the world, because it's truly good to the last drop.
Be sure to tune in next week when Topper visits a spiritualist and takes his spirits along with him. Remember, Topper next week, same time, same station. This is Dick Calmer saying good night for the makers of those bubbly light crisper cornflakes, Post Toasties.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Tom's famous quick relief for acid indigestion presents A Date with Judy.
Hello?
Hello, Judy. This is Oogie.
Oogie. Oogie, dear, my own beloved Oogie.
Huh?
Oogie. The man who makes my heart sing with just a glance. The man who makes each moment spent with him a thrilling adventure.
But, Judy, just this morning you said I was a pot. A P-O-T pot.
I know, dear one. But that was this morning and before I talked to Tootsie Whiteman.
Oh, really? What did Tootsie say?
She said that you were the most fascinating man in town.
Oh, wow.
Well, Tootsie's been out with college men. So if she saw you in that light...
Yes.
Well, jeepers, you must have something.
That's Judy, folks. Judy Foster, the lovable teenage girl who is close to all our hearts. Your date with her each Tuesday is arranged for by the makers of Tums, famous quick relief for acid indigestion. Well, let's see what's happening at the Foster house. Judy's parents and her kid brother Randolph were in the living room when the front door opens. And Judy was never so...
Absolutely revolted in my whole life.
Judy, what's the matter?
Oh, Mother, it's unfair, despicable, and completely iconoclastic.
Whatever that means.
For heaven's sake, Judy, what's bothering you?
What's bothering me? Oogie's orchestra has been evicted. That's what's bothering me.
Evicted? From where?
From his father's garage.
Oh.
What a shame. That seemed like such a good place for them to practice.
Well, yes, it was built of good, solid concrete. It looked like it could stand anything.
What happened? Couldn't the Pringle car take the vibration?
The neighbors objected. They threatened to have Oogie's father arrested for disturbing the peace.
Well, I'm not surprised. When Oogie and those pan-pounders of his start booming, it sounds like all...
Tut, Father.
Like all the fire engines in town let loose at once.
That was a neat recovery.
It's absolutely the worst time it could have happened.
Why?
Oogie is trying out this week for the BST-PFT-BSP.
The what?
The BST-PFT-BSP.
Oh, that! What the devil is it?
Why, Father, the band selected to play for the big senior prom, of course.
Well, surely you guessed that, Father.
Oh, Natch.
And if he's going to win, he simply got to practice.
Boy, I'll say.
Poor Oogie. Imagine it. His family, his own family, turning him out of house and home.
I thought you said it was the garage.
The principle is the same, Randolph. But I told him not to worry. I told him that everyone else might turn against him, but he could always count on me.
I'm sure that cheered him.
It did. He was very grateful to Father, too.
Grateful to me? He was?
Yes. He says he'd never realized until I told him what a staunch admirer of his music you were.
I am? I mean, well, yes, of course. I've always thought that Oogie had the makings of a great musician, given a little encouragement.
Also given a little talent.
He thanks you sincerely from the bottom of his heart.
Oh, that's all right. Melvin Foster is always glad to lend a helping hand.
He says he doesn't know another person who would support him like you do.
Yes, sir. Help your friends, I always say.
And he promises faithfully that the boys won't practice later than 1 o'clock.
Well, that's all right. Practice? Where?
Why, here, Father. If we take out the couch and the big chair, this room will be large enough for the whole orchestra.
Now, just a minute.
Judy, do you mean Oogie's bringing his orchestra over here to practice tonight?
Yes, Mother.
Oogie's father is going to be arrested for disturbing the peace if he practices in their garage, so he's coming over here to practice in our living room?
Why, yes, Father.
Judy Foster, you go to that telephone and call Oogie Pringle this minute. You tell him if he so much as scrapes one violin string in this house tonight, I will personally...
But, Father...
Yes, sir. Melvin Foster is always glad to lend a helping hand.
But, Father, what is Oogie going to do? The tryouts are Saturday.
Oh, Melvin, I guess one night wouldn't do any harm.
Well, no, we aren't speaking to the neighbors anyway.
No. Positively no. Tonight, I must flatly refuse. Tonight, I have other plans.
Really, Melvin? What other plans, Father?
I'm going to bed. And I am going to bed at 7:30.
Now, there's a big evening.
Oh, jeepers.
Well, Melvin, don't you feel well?
I feel fine. But tomorrow morning, I have to meet a very important customer who's coming in on the 5:15 train.
5:15? That's practically dawn.
Yes, and it's very important that I make a favorable impression. So if there's one thing I'm determined about, it is that I am going to get a good night's sleep. I am not going to be disturbed by some kettle drum screeching, beat me, Daddy, 7 to the bar.
Well, of course, Father. I'm terribly sorry I even mentioned it. I'll call Oogie right away.
Tell him I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry about it, Father. Oogie wouldn't dream of bothering you tonight when you need your sleep.
Well, all right.
I'll just tell him to come tomorrow night.
Oh, for the love of heaven.
Father.
Yes, Randolph?
I've got a message for you from Mr. Evans at the plant.
Evans? Oh, come on in, Randolph. I was just ready to hop into bed.
Into bed?
Uh-huh.
With your hunting boots on?
Well, Randolph, what do you know? I got my boots on. Think of that.
Yes, Father, I am.
Yeah, you know, I just happened to notice them tonight in the closet, and I hadn't worn them in such a long time. I thought I'd take them out and see if they still fit.
You just happened to notice them in the closet.
Yeah. Funny, isn't it, how something will be right in front of you for months and you'll never even see it, and then for no reason at all you...
Yes, Father.
Yeah. Randolph, sometime in the course of events, you too will become men.
So they tell me.
And when you do, you'll understand that there are some things you just can't explain to a woman.
Like going duck hunting?
Randolph, how did you guess?
I didn't. Mr. Evans told me.
Oh.
And he said that when you go down to the plant for your gun in the morning, you're not to worry because the safe is empty.
Safe empty? Randolph, you mean it's been robbed?
No, painted.
Oh.
Mr. Evans said they moved the securities to the bank vault so the safe could be left open to dry.
Oh, you had me worried for a minute.
Well, Father, you don't have to start worrying until Mother finds out you're going duck hunting.
Now, look, Randolph, I assure you I had every intention of telling your mother tomorrow night where I've been. I just didn't want to mention it beforehand because, because. Well, you remember last time?
I remember. No ducks.
Yeah. And she was quite upset. See, she'd invited the Emersons for duck dinner.
And you came home with poison ivy instead.
Yes.
Not to mention the faint aroma of skunk.
All right, Randolph. But I just thought it would be better not to say anything ahead of time.
All right. But, Father.
Yes, Randolph.
Now that I know why you're getting up so early tomorrow morning, don't you think that
All right, Scrooge. Will $1 be enough?
No.
2?
No, I'd like to go hunting with you.
All right, Randolph, it's a deal. I've always wanted to take you, show you what it's like to have the most exciting experience in a man's life. But you better get a good night's sleep. We'll have to be up by 3:30.
First, I have to go to the movies with Judy and Mother.
Movie?
Yes, we thought that'd be the best way to keep from bothering you tonight.
Oh.
We want to be sure you have a good night's sleep before you meet that, important customer in the morning.
Well, goodbye, Melvin. We're leaving now.
Have a nice time, dear.
Do you have everything you want, Father?
Oh, I think so. I'm going to read a little while and then go to sleep.
Oh, that's fine, dear. Well, we'd better get started. Goodbye.
Sleep well, Father.
I will, dear. Goodbye. Well, now to get on with some really worthwhile reading. The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. Chapter 1, page 1. Oh. Wouldn't you know it, just when I'd got to sleep. Oh, just a minute, I'm coming. Oh, darn that table. I'm coming. Oh, hello.
Father, is that you?
Judy, something wrong?
Father, I can't talk but a minute because
what's
it's
the matter?
right in the middle of the movie, and I want to get back before I miss the part where Gregory Peck decides that he's been a heel after all.
Well, Judy, why...
I hated to leave it all, but this is the part they showed last week in the trailer, so I guess I can pick up the story all right.
Well, that's lovely. Well, was that what you wanted to tell me?
Oh, no, Father. Father, you sound like you've been asleep.
I have.
Oh. Well, the only reason I called was that I thought I should warn you that I'm expecting a call from Mitzi about a place where Oogie can practice. So you better take the phone off the hook. I wouldn't want anything to disturb your sleep.
Oh. $14,910 sheep. 14,000 doorbells. Doorbells? Oh, can't a man sleep? All right, I'm coming. Don't go down that table. Man tries to get one night's sleep, and what happens? Everything. Doorbells, telephones. Well?
Hello, Mr. Foster.
Oogie Pringle, what are you doing here?
Well, I've just been ringing the doorbell. Ha, ha. Not a very good joke, is it, Mr. Foster?
No, it certainly is not.
Well, you see, if I get the job of playing for the senior prom, I have to be a master of ceremonies, too. I thought I better practice a few jokes ahead of time.
Well, when you find one, you start practicing it.
Well, I thought maybe Judy'd be here and would help me.
No, she isn't.
Oh, gosh, Mr. Foster, were you asleep?
Yes, Oogie, I was.
Oh, I'm sure sorry if I woke you up.
It's all right, Oogie. Any man with a telephone and a doorbell in his house should know better than to think he could get a night's sleep.
Well, Mr. Foster, I can fix a doorbell so it can't ring.
You can?
Sure, it's very simple. You just loosen this, and then you pull out this wire and push that screw. There, it's fixed for tonight.
Frankly, Steinmetz, it looks like it's fixed forever.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Foster. Well, good night, and sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams, Oogie. Well, back to the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. And then, breathlessly, Amber looked up at him and smiled. Your obedient servant, sir, she murmured. He looked at her and... What's that noise? Oh, my goodness. Somebody's breaking in. Oh, down that table. What's going on down there?
Hello, Mr. Foster.
Mitzi Hoffman, what are you doing throwing rocks through our windows?
Oh, Mr. Foster, I didn't intend to break the window. I thought it was open.
I still don't understand why you're going around throwing rocks through our windows.
Well, gosh, I just had to get an important message of vital import to Judy.
What message?
I found a place for Oogie's orchestra to rehearse.
Oh, why didn't I just let Oogie come here in the first place?
Well, you see, I tried the phone, but the operator said the receiver was off the hook.
Yeah, I know.
And then I tried the doorbell, but nobody answered. And I just had to let Judy know before morning. So, you see, I threw the note in her window.
All right, Mitzi, all right. I'm sure she'll find it.
Golly, Mr. Foster, I hope I didn't disturb you.
Oh, no. I never pay any attention to rocks being thrown through our windows.
Were you trying to sleep, Mr. Foster?
Yeah, that was the general idea.
Oh, well, you see, when my father wants to sleep, he usually stuffs his ears with cotton.
Cotton? He does?
Yes. You just try it, Mr. Foster.
Well, now, that's an idea, Mitzi. I think I will.
Why, my father says he couldn't hear anything if all...
Mitzi!
If all the fire engines in town let loose at once.
Oh. Your father says that, too, does he, Mitzi?
Yes. Well, good night, Mr. Foster, and sweet dreams.
Oh, yes. Sweet dreams, Mitz. Sweet dreams.
You know the old saying, two wrongs can't make a right. Yet some folks try to relieve acid indigestion just that way. When they feel all wrong because of acid upset, they start...
This is a rebroadcast of The Date with Judy show, originally heard on April the 9th, 1946.
Alkalis always neutralize excess acidity with Tums. T-U-M-S, Tums for the tummy. And now, back to A Date with Judy.
Wasn't that the most wonderful picture you ever saw?
Yes, Judy, I certainly enjoyed it.
I think it's a shame poor Father had to miss it.
Poor old Father.
Sometimes I think we don't appreciate how hard Father works. Do you, Randolph?
I'll take the next question.
Well, here we are.
All the lights are out. I guess Father's sound asleep.
Well, we'll just leave the car right here in the driveway. That garage door makes so much noise, might wake him up.
Yes, let's be very quiet.
Well, I'm glad I got a new lock for the front door. At least it won't squeak when we open it.
Now, I just thought of something.
What, Randolph?
Wouldn't it be funny if we'd gone to all this trouble to be quiet and then Mother had forgotten her key?
Randolph, what a horrible idea.
Don't worry about it, Judy. I have one clear record. I've never forgotten a key in my entire... Oh, dear.
What's the matter, Mother?
Mother just broke her record.
Randolph, you're right.
Oh, jeepers, Mother, what'll we do?
Well, we're not going to disturb your father. Come on, the back door might be open.
It's no use, Mother. The door's locked.
Randolph, you'll just have to climb through a window.
Raffles Foster, they called me in those days.
Oh, dear. Every window on the first floor is locked.
I always wondered what it would be like to be a second story man.
Well, there's a ladder in the garage. Randolph, be careful. I think there's a rung in that ladder.
Yeah, what'd you say, Mother?
I said I think there's a rung in that...
What?
Randolph, are you hurt?
Oh, no, I always walk on my knees. Now, what were you going to say, Mother?
Well, I was just going to say there's a broken rung in
And you were so right, Mother.
Well, there's nothing else to do. We'll just have to waken your father. Judy, will you ring the doorbell, dear?
All right, Mother. I don't hear any ring, Mother.
Well, I just had it fixed, so I know it works perfectly.
Oh, we probably just can't hear it outside. I'll try again.
This is drama.
Randolph.
It'll probably take your father several minutes to get down here. He's never gotten out of bed yet without hitting that night table. It's a wonder he has any toe left.
It's a wonder we have any night table left.
Mother, I don't hear any sounds inside.
Oh, dear. Well, try knocking. Maybe the bell is out of order. You know, I can't understand your father sleeping through all this racket. He's such a light sleeper. He's always said he could hear a pin drop.
Well, here's my Boy Scout pin. I'll drop it.
Oh, you know, I'm a little worried. Maybe he's sick or something.
Come on, let's call outside his window.
Well, that's a good idea. Melvin! Melvin! It's Dora!
Father! Father, it's Judy!
I'm Randolph.
It's no use. He just doesn't hear us. Randolph, that settles it.
We sleep in the garage?
No. We'll have to call the police.
The police?
Well, I'm worried. Something might have happened to your father. And I've got to get to him, even if that door has to be broken down.
Well, there you are, folks. The door's open.
And it was such a nice new lock, too.
Thank you so much. Now, please wait just a minute till I see if my husband's all right.
Oh, Father's all right. I just know he is, Mother.
Maybe he went down to see the midnight show at the Bijou.
Melvin! Melvin, where are you?
There he is, Mother, in bed.
Father! Father, are you all right? Melvin, speak to me. Melvin, speak to me. Can't you hear us?
Could you if your ears were stuffed with cotton?
Cotton? Oh, of all the ridiculous things. Putting cotton in his ear so he couldn't hear me. I'll shake him, that's what I'll do. I'll shake him.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing at all. We've just spent 2 horrible hours trying to waken you to let us in the house. That's all.
We shouted our lungs out. Randolph is black and blue where he fell off the ladder.
That I am.
Then we finally called the police department, woke up all the neighbors, and the new lock on the front door smashed to smithereens.
But Dora,
And you're lying here with cotton in your ears.
Well, is everything all right?
Now, that's an interesting question.
Yes, my father's fine. He was just sleeping.
With cotton in his ears.
What's that? Well, he's all right. Thank you very much for breaking the door open.
It's a pleasure. Good night.
Night.
Oh, Melvin, it wasn't enough that you took the phone off the hook and disconnected the doorbell. You had to put cotton in your ears, too.
Dora, all I wanted was to be sure I got a good night's sleep.
Well, all I can say is that to warrant all the trouble he's caused, your customer surely must be important.
That he is, Mother. That he is.
Randolph, wake up.
I can't.
Why not?
I haven't been asleep.
Look, Randolph, we've got to hurry. I've got to stop at the plant. I've got to stop at the plant for my gun.
Father.
Yes, Randolph.
Couldn't we just make a deal with O'Brien's meat market and buy some ducks?
Randolph, what an unsportsmanlike thing to say. Besides, I found out last year he doesn't handle wild ducks. Oh. Now, dress quietly and we'll slip out the back door. We mustn't waken your mother or Judy. Now, let's see. Here's everything. Shells, decoy whistle, bag to carry the ducks in. Think of anything else we'll need, Randolph?
Just some ducks.
Randolph. Now, let's see. Here's my gun. Well, guess we're ready to go.
Anyway, I got you covered.
What in the name of...
Get your hands up and keep them up.
But, officer, I'm Melvin Foster. I own this plant.
Sure, I know. And you just emptied that safe to have it painted.
The safe? Painted? Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, that's right, I did.
Shame on you. A big, strong man like you telling a whopper like that to an officer of the law.
You should hear the ones he tells Mother.
Randolph!
Well, now, son, what are you doing here?
Well, he's showing me what it's like to have the most exciting experience in a man's life.
Oh, so that's it. Training a young kid like you to follow in his footsteps.
Now, see here, officer. You're making a big mistake. I tell you, I'm Melvin Foster. This is my son, Randolph. We're going duck hunting. We stopped off here to get my gun.
Why didn't you take your gun home with you?
Well, I didn't want my wife to suspect I was going.
I'll tell you what. I'll call your house, and if you're not there, I'll believe your story.
What if he is there?
I'm taking him in.
You better not be there, Father.
Now, you just tell me the number.
Certainly. Elm 36...
Oh, what's trouble?
I just remembered. It won't do any good to call the house. The phone's off the hook.
I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll drive out there, and if your wife says you're Melvin Foster, we'll forget the whole thing.
Well, that's fine. Come on.
Father, I just thought of something.
What, Randolph?
What are you going to tell Mother?
Well, I'll just tell her Oh, my goodness.
Well, come on.
Officer, I just remembered the doorbell doesn't work.
These are about the feeblest excuses I've ever heard.
Well,
Now make up your mind. Wife or jail?
Father, I think you'd better take the jail.
Miss, I'm sorry to wake you up at this hour, but is this Melvin Foster's residence?
Yes, it is. Officer, is there anything the matter?
Well, I caught a man prowling in your father's plant who says he's Melvin Foster. It's out there in my car.
Oh, that's ridiculous. My father's sound asleep upstairs.
This man seemed pretty positive.
Well, he's mistaken. And now, if you don't mind, I'd be very grateful if you'd go away quietly. My father's likely to hear the noise, and it's absolutely imperative that he not be disturbed.
Yeah, that's that. Mr. Foster?
Yes.
The young lady says you're upstairs sound asleep.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Look, try again. Ask her to go look to see if her father's there.
Have her look for me, too.
Well...
Look, let me come with you.
Okay. But you're going to be mighty sorry if you are upstairs.
Please, I must ask you not to disturb us anymore.
Judy, it's me.
Father!
Me, too.
Him, too.
Randolph! For goodness sakes, what are you two doing with the policeman? Mother!
Judy, you don't have to wake up the whole neighborhood.
Well, what on earth is the Melvin?
Hello, Dora.
Melvin, what's the trouble? What's this policeman doing here?
Well, you see, it was this way.
Can you identify these two, Mrs. Foster?
Why, of course. It's my husband and my son.
Well, then, good night. I'll be on my way. I'm sorry, Mr. Foster.
Oh, it's nothing at all. Goodbye.
So long.
My, it's certainly a beautiful night, isn't it? It's the loveliest night.
Melvin, will you please explain this?
Explain? Well, of course, Dora. It's the simplest thing in the world.
All right, then go ahead.
Well, you see, it was this way. I got to thinking that it so happened that, well, you see, it was all because, I felt that, well, it was this way.
You see, Mother? Melvin, you and Randolph had better get a move on if you expect to meet that important customer on the 5:15 train.
Oh, yes, that's right. Randolph, it's 4:50. Come on, we'll have to hurry. Goodbye, Dora. Goodbye, Judy.
And Melvin.
Yes, Dora.
I've asked both the Emersons and the Hoffmans to dinner, so you'd better bring back plenty of duck.
Well, sure, I'll probably bring home a dig. Why, Dora!
Hold on. We'll be back with the Fosters in a moment.
Gee, Judy, that was the most wonderful dinner. I'm glad you liked it, Mitzi. I sure did. It was luscious of your mother to ask me to stay.
Yeah, it was nice of her to let me stay, too. I wouldn't have missed that dinner for anything.
Did you really enjoy it, Oogie?
Did I? Oh, boy, there's nothing I like better than baked beans.
Well, that's good. I was a little worried. You see, Oogie, Mother kind of expected ducks, but you know what they say? The best laid plans of mice and men often go to pop.
I'll say.
A Day with Judy is written by Eileen Wesley and stars Louise Erickson. Randolph was played by Tommy Cook. Mr. and Mrs. Foster are played by John Brown and Myra Marsh. Oogie by Scott Elliott, and Mitzi by Sandra Gould. Original music was composed by Paul Sartell and conducted by Konstantin Bakalinikov. The program was produced and directed by Helen Mack. And this is Doug Gourley, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday at this same time to keep your date with Judy. And remember, night and day, at home or away, always carry Tums. T-U-M-S.
Tonight's Dave and Judy will be transmitted to our men and women overseas by shortwave and through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company. Mutual Broadcasting System presents The Adventures of Father Brown. From the exciting pages of G.K. Chesterton comes the best-loved detective of them all, Father Brown, played by Carl Swenson. Now for tonight's adventures, The Mystified Mind. It is just after lunch on a hot August afternoon, and Father Brown sits at his desk in the study of his modest parish house. He's deep in his notebooks and monthly records. Father Brown doesn't look up at the sound of the doorbell. Nora, the housekeeper, comes along the corridor past the study door.
Pity they can't leave him alone just for once.
Hello, Nora.
Oh, it's you, Flambeau.
Yes. Is Father Brown in? I've brought someone to see him. This is Miss Harridge, Nora.
Good afternoon, Nora. Flambeau told me about you. Nothing good, I warrant. Well, if you must see Father Brown, you must. He's in his study.
Oh, thank you, Nora. This way, Miss Harridge. You know, Nora's bark is much worse than her bite. Hello, Father Brown.
Well, Flambeau. My, this is a pleasure.
I've brought someone to see you, Father. This is Miss Joyce Harridge.
Well, come in, my dear. Come in. Pull up that comfortable chair for Miss Harridge, Flambeau.
I'm afraid we're disturbing you, Father.
One of man's greatest pleasures is to be disturbed at his work. There, sit down, my dear.
Thank you, Father.
Miss Harridge has brought me a case, Father, which I think is more up your alley than mine.
Oh.
The fact is, we're on our way now to talk to a murderer in his cell.
Oh. And what makes you think, Miss Harridge, that this man you call a murderer is not guilty?
Why, How do you know I think that, Father?
Well, because Flambeau is a detective. And the only use a man charged with murder has for a detective is to prove his innocence.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head, Father. But I'm afraid there isn't much I can do. It looks like an open and shut case.
You know, I have never understood the meaning of that phrase, Flambeau. To be both open and shut is a paradox. Well, now suppose, my dear, that you tell me about the man in the cell whom someone has called a murderer.
Well, to begin with, Father, Trail Engineers. Rollins' offices are located on the 17th floor of the Jefferson Building. The whole thing happened last Thursday morning, just after I arrived at the office.
I see. Well, go on.
Well, every Thursday morning, just as our office opens, a man comes in to clean the windows.
I see.
His name is Luigi Conti. We've all gotten to know him well over the years because his daughter was in Keller. I'd just gotten to the office last week. Good morning, Miss Harris. You know, I've sent you not to come to work.
Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Mr. Clayton.
Hello, darling.
Oh, just think what it would be like at the beach today.
I guess the sick grandmother gag has worn itself out. Let's plan the beach for the weekend, though, huh?
Oh, yes, I'd love it.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Gregory.
Good morning.
Whether it's good or not is a matter of your own personal feeling. If you're waiting to get into the vault, it's only 3. The time lock won't work for another 2 minutes. When I first came to work here, I was convinced, it wasn't until I began getting here on time that I discovered he actually lived in the outside world.
Uh-oh.
Well, I want to talk to you about the Kennedy job after I've gone through the mail, Clayton.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there's the window cleaner. You know it's gotten so you can tell time by Luigi.
Joyce, yes. You know, that's a job I wouldn't like to have.
What?
Luigi's. It does something to the pit of my stomach when I see him climb out on that.
He's used to it. There's really no danger with one of those safety belts.
The window cleaner! He's fallen!
It's Luigi. One side of his belt gave way.
Just hanging there.
Mr. Rollins, help him.
Mr. Rollins!
Quick, Gregory! Fallen all the way to the street.
Papa! Papa!
Don't look, Lisa. You mustn't look, my dear. Dreadful accident.
Accident! Look, Pa, the belt's still hanging there. It's been cut through. Not an accident. Tony did it.
Tony? Now, Lisa, you mustn't say that.
Tony did it, I tell you. I know it. Tony did it.
That's the whole crux of the case, Father. It was murder, all right, because Luigi's safety belt had been cut through with a razor blade.
Oh, my.
So that the minute he threw his weight against it, it gave way.
And the man that Lisa accused, the man she called Tony.
That's Anthony Cremona, Father.
Uh-huh.
He's been arrested and charged with the murder. He was Luigi's assistant at the Jefferson Building.
And he was nuts about Luigi's daughter.
Well, why did the girl jump so quickly to the conclusion that it was this boy who had cut the safety belt?
Well, apparently because the old man and the boy were constantly arguing and fighting. There were threats and counter-threats.
I see.
Father, Luigi was terribly proud of Lisa. Every cent he'd earned had gone for her education and business school. He thought Tony wasn't good enough for her. He was dead set against anything serious developing between them.
Their window cleaning equipment in a closet, and both Tony and Luigi had a key to it. Young Tony had plenty of opportunity to slice the belt with a razor blade. As far as the cops are concerned, that's all there is to it.
Yes. Well, is that all the evidence against him, Flambeau?
That's all the police have found, Father.
No, that's just too black and white. There are no shadings, no coloring. People are not so simple as a first-grade problem in arithmetic, you know.
Well, Father, I've gotten to know Tony a little in the last year.
Oh?
He'd been so anxious to marry Lisa, he's been working like a Trojan to better himself. Going to night school, studying engineering.
Father, Miss Harridge has an interesting point to make.
Oh.
Well, it's simply this, Father Brown. If Tony had struck down Lisa's father in the midst of one of their arguments, it would fit his character, his hot temper.
Yes, but cutting through the belt was a cold and character, is that it?
Yes, Father.
I see. I think we should not put off going to see Anthony Cremona in this cellar.
No, but the trouble is he won't see anyone. He won't talk to a lawyer, he won't see Miss Harridge, and he won't see me.
We thought that maybe with you, he might feel differently.
Well, sometimes injustice will turn a man's face away from all other men. We can only try, Miss Harris. We can only try.
Cremona cell is at the end of this block, Father.
Thank you, sir. Flambeau, would you and Miss Harris wait here?
Yes, Father Brown.
Someone to see you, Cremona.
I don't want to see anybody.
Tony, I didn't know they sent a priest to see you till just before the hanging. But there are two kinds of hanging, Tony. The hanging that takes place in the minds of men, and the hanging that takes place at the end of a rope. A priest may be valuable in both cases. Well, I can't stop you from talking to me if you want to. You may open the cell door for me, Sergeant.
Holler when you want to get out, Father.
All right, thank you.
Now, look, if this is some kind of a trick to get me to change my story.
Since I haven't heard your story, Tony, why should I ask you to change it?
Well, maybe it don't sound like much. Can't change the truth.
And who is it that doesn't believe it?
The police? Lisa. You know something, Father? The minute it happened, the very minute it happened, Lisa shouted out my name.
Yes, but you had threatened her father, hadn't you, Tony?
Sure, I threatened him. He was a stubborn, narrow-minded old fool. But I had a suit of clothes from a fine tailor and plenty of dough in my pocket. He'd have thought I was the right guy.
Yes, Tony?
Father, Lisa hasn't even been to see me. She hasn't given me a chance. You think she'd at least hear my side of it, wouldn't you?
Well, what is your side of it, my son?
I never touched Luigi's safety belt. Kept our stuff in the same closet, but I never touched his belt.
Yes, go on, Tony.
If I was going to murder Luigi, I wouldn't have been satisfied with cutting just one side of his belt.
No?
No. But the belt should have held him up, even when one side gave way.
I see.
It was an accident the other side of the belt didn't hold. No window cleaner would have cut just one side of the belt if he wanted Luigi to fall. What's the use of my telling him that?
Maybe a great deal of use, Tony. You see, there's a bitterness in your heart that's keeping a cloud in front of your eyes. You have friends, you know.
Friends?
Oh, well, it's Miss Harris, the policeman. Miss Flambeau, the detective hired to clear you of this charge. And there's me, Tony.
Do you mean that, Father?
Yes.
You really mean it?
Well, of course I do.
Well, then, if you see Lisa, will you tell her? Will you tell her there are still people that don't go around accusing a man without giving him a hearing?
Well, Father, would he talk to you?
Yes, Flambeau, he talked with me.
And what do you think, Father?
Sometimes the things I think are frightening, even to me. Sometimes I wish I could give up the whole business of thinking.
Then you think Tony is guilty?
No, Miss Haddis, I think he's innocent.
But in that case, Father...
But thinking it isn't proving it. Now, I'd like to go to your office. I'd like to see the place where this accident happened.
Accident? Now, Father, I've seen these tricks pulled before, and cutting a safety belt is...
I have a passion for accuracy, Flambeau. I called it an accident because it was an accident. Tragic accident. You see, the window cleaner, Luigi, was never meant to die.
But, Father...
Now, let's not waste time, Flambeau. I have an urgent curiosity to lay eyes on a criminal, and he's not in a cell at the city jail. And it's entirely possible that we'll find him at the office of Rollins and Keller. May God have mercy on him. And this is the office where it happened, eh, Miss Haddis?
Yes, Father. There's only this one large drafting room and Mr. Rollins' private office.
I see. That's the vault that you spoke of.
Yes, it is. Old Gregory sits there by the wicket, and nobody goes in or out of the vault without being checked by him.
Oh, what's so valuable in the vault?
Oh, chiefly blueprints. We do a lot of work for the government. All very hush-hush.
Now, which is the window from which Luigi fell?
Oh, that one over there, at the far end of the office.
Ah, yes, it would be at the far end. Miss Harridge, I think I should talk to your employer, Mr. Rollins.
Very well, Father. His office is right over here.
Thank you.
Pardon me, Mr. Rollins.
What? Oh, come in.
Mr. Rollins, this is Father Brown and Flambeau. They'd like to talk to you for a moment.
Come in, come in.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I'll get back to my drawing board.
Yes, Miss Harris. Well, gentlemen, what can I do for you?
So we've come about the window cleaner who was murdered.
On the contrary, Mr. Rollins. We've come about the vault that was robbed.
Well, gentlemen, make up your minds.
I'm sorry to have to tell you that valuable designs or blueprints are missing from your vault.
I don't know what this is all about, gentlemen, but I can assure you there's nothing missing from the vault. You see, it works on a time mechanism. It opens at 5 minutes past 9 in the morning and closes at 5 minutes to 5 at night. All day long, Gregory sits outside the gate and nothing can be taken without his knowing it. I'd trust Gregory with anything I have.
With your money, Mr. Rollins?
With more than that, Father Brown. There are secrets in that vault that money could not buy back.
Well, I only hope that whatever was stolen is still missing.
Oh, really, Father? First you tell me I've been robbed, and then you wish me bad luck on top of it.
Now, if I worked in your office and someone offered me a great deal of money for one of the blueprints in your vault, this is what I do. I take the blueprint, have it photostated, and then return it to the vault. And if I was lucky enough to get back in time, you'd never know you'd been betrayed, Mr. Rollins.
That would be a way to do it.
Father, look in the vault, Mr. Rollins. Don't let anyone know what you're looking for. And if you find anything missing, come back and tell me, but no one else.
This is really ridiculous.
Look, Mr. Rollins.
All right. I will look. Will you gentlemen wait here?
Thank you.
Of course, I'm really an innocent bystander, but if it wouldn't be too much trouble to explain...
Yeah, but the trouble doesn't lie in the explanations, Flambeau. The trouble lies in catching a peculiarly subtle thief.
Murderer.
That's the point, Flambeau. There was no murderer. By intent.
And how was Luigi supposed to fall 17 stories to the street without dying, Father?
He wasn't supposed to fall. The other side of his belt should have held him up.
But what could be the purpose in it?
The everlasting greed of man, Flambeau. That was the motive. The purpose in cutting Luigi's belt was purely and simply to distract attention from the vault. That's an old magician's trick. Distract attention from what's really happening. Everyone was at the window.
Yeah, by George, it would work.
Certainly.
If the thief knew exactly where the blueprint he wanted was kept in the vault, it would only take him a matter of seconds.
Precisely, Flambeau. And with everyone's attention riveted in another direction...
You were right, Father Brown. Secret designs for a new jet-propelled plane gone. You must notify the police at once.
Not if you want the plans back.
What?
If the thief doesn't know that you've discovered the theft, he'll try to put them back.
But how do we catch him, Father? If we watch the vault, he won't go in. And if we don't watch the vault, we won't know who puts the plans back.
I think I can find an answer to that riddle.
How?
By committing a crime, Flambeau.
What are you doing here, Father Brown?
Oh, I'm just sitting on this bench, Miss Harridge.
I saw Flambeau leave, but... Well, why are you sitting here?
Well, you see, to understand why a criminal acts as he does, one must know exactly how he feels. One must, so to speak, get inside of him, understand his every thought. And when I've done this, when I've reached the point of committing the crime myself, then I know who the criminal is.
Oh, well, that sounds complicated.
Understanding the human mind is the most complicated of all sciences, Miss Harridge. Now, take yourself, for example. Your interest in young Tony Cremona. Is it just ordinary human kindness? Or is it personal and intimate?
It's just that he's a nice boy who's being blamed for something I don't think he did.
I see. And is there no one else here who feels the same as you?
I know Jim Clayton.
I'd like to talk to this Mr. Clayton of yours, may I?
Yes, I'll call him. Jim? Jim.
Yes?
Jim, this is Father Brown.
Oh, hello, Father.
How do you do?
Joyce has been telling me that you feel the same way as we do about Tony Cremona.
Well, unfortunately, just feeling something will not help him.
Yes, I know. The trouble is, there aren't any clues that point in any other direction.
That's what makes it such a clever crime. But just because a man points in a certain direction, Mr. Clayton, doesn't mean that we must walk in that direction. So I am stubbornly walking in all the other directions, if you see what I mean.
Here's a telegram for you, Father Brown.
But the telegram? Well, now, that's odd. It's very odd. Advise you leave office of Rollins and Keller and don't come back. Well.
Father Brown.
Yes?
I'm Lisa Conte. I know why you're here.
Oh, do you now? Because I don't know why you're here, Lisa.
I work here. What else should I be?
Well, you might be in a cell at the city jail, talking to a nice young man who's eating out his heart because of you.
Talking to a murderer, you mean?
And where is your authority for judging, Lisa? Even a court of law will listen to young Tony's story.
He threatened to kill Papa. He did it. They hang him, I'll stand and watch it and be glad.
Then you should be happy now, Lisa. Because you've already done the only hanging that'll cause him any pain.
But, Father Brown, I tell you...
A person who will not listen even to a lie cannot have much to tell anyone, Lisa. Because what can she know? That's either true or false. Tell me, who delivered this telegram?
Oh, it was delivered by a regular messenger, Father.
I see. Here, read it.
What? It's a threat against you, Father Brown.
Do you think the police allowed Tony to send me that telegram from his cell in the city jail?
Oh, no.
They tell me, Lisa, that it's possible to visit the jail at any time, day or night. I beg your pardon, but you're Mr. Gregory, aren't you?
Yes.
Do you know the mechanism of that vault fascinates me? It's closed for the night now?
Yes.
I see. You mean to say that no one can open it until morning?
Not till 5 minutes past 9 tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. You're certain?
There's no way on earth to open it till then.
Well, now, you may think it odd for me to have this turn of mind, Mr. Gregory, but suppose a thief were to walk into the vault in broad daylight and come out with something he had no right to have.
I'd stop him.
Oh, but suppose he was a monstrous big man, Mr. Gregory, who could pick you up and put you aside like a child.
Then I'd shoot him. You see, I keep a gun in this desk drawer.
Oh, my. Yes. Well, now, suppose that you weren't at your post, Mr. Gregory.
I'm always at my post.
Always?
Always.
Well, that's an interesting speculation, Mr. Gregory. Good night. Yes. I'll see you in the morning, just before you open your wonderful vault.
You're coming back again tomorrow?
Oh, yes. Unless, of course, I should receive a visit from a murderer before that time.
Oh, there you are, Father. I thought you were never going to get home.
Telegram, Flambeau. I've been warned to give up my innocent bench sitting at Rollins and Keller. Here, you can see for yourself.
Oh, so that's the way the wind blows.
Well, at any rate, it's a wind, Flambeau, but I'm frank to say that I don't know from what direction it blows. Oh, excuse me, Flambeau. Father Brown speaking.
Okay, then listen.
Who is this?
Never mind who it is. The boy won't hang if you mind your own business.
What? Well, what's that?
You got the telegram?
Yes, I got it. Did you send it?
Never mind who sent it. It's good advice. Now, you stay away from Rollins and Keller, you understand? Stay away.
Hello? Hello? Well, now, we seem to be getting warm, Flambeau. That was another warning to stay away from Rollins and Keller.
Oh? What are you going to do?
Return, of course. Tomorrow.
But, Father, the thief won't put the plans back while you're watching the vault.
He'll put them back tomorrow morning, Flambeau.
Well, what makes you think so?
That's not a matter of thinking. I know it. And I know when, Flambeau. He'll put the plans back in the vault at exactly 10 minutes past 9.
Floors, please.
17, please. Oh, what's the matter, Father? You look worried.
We've drawn this a touch fine, Flambeau. It's already 1 minute past 9.
Well, unless the elevator breaks down.
Don't even think such a thought, Flambeau. Don't even think.
17.
Well, we made it.
Oh, Father Brown.
Oh, good morning, Lisa.
Father, I went to see Tony last night.
Did you now?
Father, I don't know what I could have been thinking of when I talked to him, when I saw him.
He's a good boy, Lisa. A good, honest boy who holds you very high in his heart. And I'm sure there's less pain in it now from having seen you.
3 minutes past 9, Father.
Oh, yes. Excuse me, Lisa. Come along, Flambeau.
Good morning, Father Brown.
Good morning, Miss Harridge. Good morning, Mr. Clayton.
Hello, Father.
I hope to be here in time to see the vault mechanism.
Well, you've hit it right on the nose, Father. There's Gregory standing by now.
I see you did come back. Yes, I came back, Mr. Gregory. Well, now, how does this vault of yours work?
In 30 seconds, I open the door.
You mean to say there's no ringing of bells? No fanfare of trumpets?
No. I just open the door. Like this.
Well, now, Mr. Gregory, I am disappointed. Somehow I expected more drama.
Here comes Mr. Rollins, Father.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Rollins.
Father Brown, I simply can't hold off going to the police any longer. I have a responsibility to the government. Those plans
Mr. Rollins, will be in your hands in a very few minutes.
You know who took them?
Oh, you might say that I do. Well, what time is it, Flambeau?
7 minutes past 9, Father.
Well, then there's no use delaying. Flambeau, please take those very efficient handcuffs from your pocket and put them on Mr. Gregory.
Gregory? Why, that's impossible.
Arrest Mr. Gregory, Flambeau.
Well, it's your party, Father. All right, Gregory, hold out your hand.
Well, this is insane. I tell you, you're all insane. I had nothing to do with that window cleaner's death.
You're charged with stealing important plans from the vault, Gregory.
That's not true. You know that's not true, don't you, Mr. Rollins?
Plans have been stolen from the vault, Gregory, but I think this is a mistake. I can't believe that you had anything to do with it.
I back Gregory to the limit, too. Nothing could be taken from the vault without Gregory's connivance. He says he never left his post here.
No.
Well, if he didn't, then he's a thief. Come along, Gregory.
Now, really, Father Brown, Gregory's been with us 30 years.
There's no doubt about it.
Gregory's on the level.
Well, maybe Father Brown says to copy my copy.
Father Brown, what are you doing here in the vault?
Waiting, Miss Harris. Waiting for you to bring back the plans.
So you knew.
Well,
How did you know?
Well, I didn't. Not really.
But
all I knew was that the thief would come into the vault. You see, Miss Harris, you fell for your own trick.
Trick?
The window cleaner was your trick for distracting attention from the vault. Mr. Gregory was my trick for doing the same.
So that was it.
I confess that when you walked in here, I was a little puzzled. After the telegram and the man's voice on the telephone warning me not to come back here.
Man's voice?
Yes, I rather think that your fiancé, Mr. Clayton, has suspected all along that you were guilty.
Oh.
And he tried to frighten me off. Why did you do it, Miss Hattie?
Jim and I wanted to get married. He said he didn't have enough money. Then I was offered a big sum to steal one of the blueprints for just a few hours, just long enough for it to be photostated. Then I could put it back and no one would be the wiser.
I see. But everything went wrong. First Luigi was killed.
Oh, Father, I swear I never meant that to happen.
Yes, but it did happen. And then when Tony was arrested, you went to Flambeau.
I wish I knew why. I wish I knew why I went to Flambeau in the first place.
Because no person is all bad or all good. You knew that Tony was innocent, and the goodness in you forced you to do something to help him. It's a strange twist that you must now forfeit your freedom, perhaps your life, only because you were not all bad.
Oh, help me, Father. Please help me.
Yes. Yes, I'll help you. But we must begin by facing the music. Come along, Miss Harridge.
Next week, The Prophecy of Doom, an exciting adventure in which a world-famous mind reader prophesies the death of a famous inventor at a moment to be decided by a watch that cannot tell time. The Adventures of Father Brown, based on the stories by G.K. Chesterton, was produced by Francis Sherling Oliver and directed by William M. Sweets. Carl Swenson was Father Brown, and the cast included Barry Thompson, Mitzi Gould, Bobby Reddick, Bill Griffiths, Will Geer, Gretchen Davidson, Vinton Hayworth, and Gladys Thornton. The script was by Judson Phillips, and the music by Bill Wurgis. John Stanley speaking. Americans everywhere, please listen, and seafaring men especially. Experienced seamen are now needed to man cargo and waters. This means you, if you're an oiler, water tender, mate, or engineer. Every available man of the sea is needed to keep every fighting man at the front well supplied. Join the Merchant Marine as soon as possible. Upgrading is faster than ever before. Why, your name, address, and classification today collect to Merchant Marine, Washington, D.C. Standby pay begins immediately upon acceptance. This announcement from the Warshipping Administration is brought to you as a public service. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
It's Arthur Godfrey time.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Arthur Godfrey time with all the little Godfreys. Jeanette Davis, Marshall Young, Frank Saunders, the Jubilaires, Hank Silverne and his orchestra. And here's Arthur Godfrey himself in person himself.
Thank you, Joe. I see you are your usual witty self. Good morning, everybody. If it isn't Joe King back with us again. It is so good to see you back, Joe. So good. If you don't mind my saying so, you look sharp as a harp, too. And twice as stringy. Remo is back, too. Remo with his git fiddle. I'm so glad to see you, Remo. Are you all right now?
Fine, thanks.
Oh, you look good, too. You've been out in the sun a little, huh? Poor fella had himself a case of Pneumonia or something, wasn't it? Is that what you had?
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. But Pneumonia, that's bad stuff. Let us hear from Remo. We haven't heard from him for months. That's wonderful. Can you folks see Remo? Why don't we put Remo up here where people can see him? Stop it, Hank. Come on. Get up here, Remo, with that thing. He's got the most wonderful git fiddle, and he hides it in behind Gene Traxler's bass and what's his name's fiddle, Cy Meroff, and Plato at the piano. Can you see him now? Huh? No? Great confusion here as we move. Oh, he has to have a suitcase, too. Marshall, you make a wonderful baggage smasher. Marshall Young is carrying his electric loudspeaker to the... Yeah, that boy, Remo. Sit up there where we can see you. Can it be hooked up now? Yeah. It'll probably louse up the whole balance that we had. The production man is going nuts in the control room. Wait a minute, Hank. Wait a minute. Remo, you're not playing as well as you usually do. Frank, put that song of yours up in front of him. He likes to have music of some other song than what he's playing. That's right. Now he's got a famous old Irish song up in front of him that has nothing to do with this, and he'll play good. Watch. He always does that. These other songs give him ideas, you see. See what I tell you? Remo Palmieri, the #1 guitar player in the country, back with us again. We are so glad. So glad. Well, it's going to be a little cooler today, the man says. Couldn't get much hotter. Temperature is only going to be about 85, so don't go out without your overcoat, Joe. Just when the weatherman says it's going to be cooler, the whole world is subjected to one of the greatest blasts of hot air in history. George Bernard Shaw, who was England's champion, and Fiorello LaGuardia, who is America's kingpin in the hot air department, have entered into a controversy. Shaw says that bookmakers are honest men. And you know what LaGuardia will say to that. Well, while the hot air is blowing back and forth across the ocean, Shaw and LaGuardia will ease the meat shortage somewhat on account of there will be plenty bologna. But the weather never seems to bother this lovely Jeanette Davis. She always looks lovely and delightfully cool and beautiful. My. Everybody else complains about the sun, and Jeanette sings about it.
Got no diamond, got no pearl. Still, I think I'm a lucky girl. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. Got no mansion, got no yacht. Still, I'm happy with what I've got. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. Sunshine gives me a lovely day. Moonlight gives me the Milky Way. Got no checkbooks, got no banks. Still, I'd like to express my thanks. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. And with the sun in the morning and the moon in the evening, I'm all right. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. Sunshine gives me a lovely day. Moonlight gives me the Milky Way. Got no checkbooks, got no banks. Still, I'd like to express my thanks. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. And with the sun in the morning and the moon in the evening, I'm all right.
It's so nice and cool. Here's a letter from Mankato, Minnesota, Marshal. Says, Dear Arthur, every afternoon we listen to your wonderful program. Afternoon. That's right. It takes a long time to get out to Mankato, doesn't it? And we wish each time that you would play your theme song through once and have Marshall Young sing it. How about doing it for two favorite listeners? Sincerely yours, Lois Olson and Bernie and Bernice Johnson. Olson and Johnson, huh? In Mankato, Minnesota. Marshall, do you know the words?
I don't believe I do, Arthur. I don't think I could get through the entire song.
You couldn't get through the entire song?
If you could help me, it'd be all right.
Did you have a bad weekend, Marshall?
Not too bad, no.
You can't get through the entire song. What's the matter? Don't they feed you over there in Brooklyn?
I wasn't in Brooklyn over the weekend.
You weren't? Where were you?
I was in Rye, New York.
Oh, a tourist, huh?
I passed your place at Larchmont, by the way, on the way up there.
You did? You passed Larchmont?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes. There was a funny breeze blew through. That was that fluky day, yes.
Yes.
Well, Marshall, don't you know the theme song? Have you got the words over there, Hank?
No, I don't, Arthur.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. Well, Olson and Janssen, very sorry, but he can't yump through it here. We'll have to yump it today and do it tomorrow. Will you learn it for tomorrow?
Certainly will.
Okay, meantime, what have you?
We have Nick Henny's new tune, Adventure.
Ah.
Okay, go ahead, play it.
Darling, this is my first adventure. I never knew adventure until you came along. Darling, what is this strange devotion, this bittersweet emotion that haunts me like a song? One kiss and you opened up new worlds for me. Now I can understand why stars were made to wish upon. Bright stars that fade when you are gone. So, darling, let's make it last forever. Let's hold it fast forever. Our first and last adventure. You opened up new worlds for me. Now I can understand why stars were made to wish upon. Bright stars that fade when you are gone. So, darling, let's make it last forever. Let's hold it fast forever. Our first and last adventure.
That's a very nice song, Marshall. Very nice. Nick Kinney's, huh? Son of a gun comes up with a good one every now and then, doesn't he?
Yes, I don't know. I do the song and he puts your name in the column. I can't figure it out.
You know, I'm going to hit him over your head, though, if he doesn't get the story right about that new show of ours at nighttime. Did you see what he wrote about it today? Son of a gun. It's not an amateur show, Nick. That show on Tuesday night is to promote good talent, which is having a time getting itself out in the front. That's all. It is not an amateur show per se. What's that mean, per se? I heard a lawyer use it once. I don't know what it is. But really, that's not it. You got to get somebody to be a talent scout for you. You are a talent scout, see? You got to, if you can sing, well, somebody else has got to have faith in you to write a letter to us and say, I know a guy that can sing, or I know a lady who can sing or can play or do something. That's the way it has to be. It isn't one of those things where you just come up because you got a yen to get on the radio and louse up the air all day. We do enough of that here without having anybody else come and do it. This show is something which is designed to give good talent, which hasn't had a break yet, that break. We want to open those closed doors to good talent. That's what we want to do, and nothing else. I'll hit you over his head, see? Oh, he's a wonderful guy, that Nick Kinney. He and I used to be shipmates, you know. Yeah, he was a coxswain on a ship I was serving on one time. I was a radio floozy, and he's never forgotten it either. I was a didardit. Play that for me, will you, Hank? Alabama bound, huh?
Godfrey himself.
Thank you, Joel. That Alabama bound was a dirty trick to play on Traxler on Monday. Did you see how Gene Traxler on the bass fiddle had to climb around on that thing? Do it again, Gene. Come on, Alabama bound. Let the folks hear you. Looks like a monkey with fleas. Hey, Hank, what is this new tune we got up here by Lucky Millender and Sid Tepper and Roy Brodsky? Love means the same old thing. What's that?
Well, that's the one we were going to rehearse this morning, remember?
Oh.
Before the show?
Let me hear it. Hey, that's cute. Fall means season, fall means flop. Corn is a bunion, corn is a crop, but love means the same old thing. Nag means horses, nag means tease. Lie like a fibber, lie when you're at ease. But love means the same old thing. A match makes a fire, a match makes a pair. A ball is a plaything or a dance. A poker in an oven means a flame go higher. Poker is a game of chance. There's a tree like in Brooklyn, a tree in your shoes. Blue is a color. How's that part go? How's that part go? Oh, yeah. Blue is a color, and you blue when you got the blues. But love, since Adam and Eve had their fling. No, that's not for me. Hey, Marshall, you sing it. You sing it. That's not for me, brother.
He's out to get me.
That's for those tenors.
Fall means... I think it's too low, Hank.
After a while, we'll get this tuned down here.
Fall means the season, fall means flop. Corn is a bunion, corn is a crop, but love Love means the same old thing.
Heck, I got that much.
Nag means horses, nag means tease. Lie like a fibber, lie when you're at ease. But love means the same old thing.
Now, let me see you do this.
Makes like a fire. Match.
Go ahead, start again.
Match makes a fire. No? Oh, I see. Okay, let's try it again. A match makes a fire, a match makes a pair, a ball is a plaything or a dance. A poker in an oven makes a flame go higher. This is all, boy. Look, I think Jeanette was singing it very well behind me. I think she can do a good job at it.
Come on, Jeanette, let me see you do it.
Well, man, I've never heard this song. I'll tell you right now.
Hey, this is the smelly hour.
Fall means season, fall means flop. Corn is the bunion, corn is the crop. But love means the same old thing.
Now it's beginning to sound like something.
Nag means horses, nag means tease. Like a fibber, lie when you're at ease. But love means the same old thing.
So far, so good.
A match makes a fire, a match makes a pair. A ball is a plaything or a dance. A poker is an oven, makes the flame go up higher. Poker is a game of chance. Man, this is a chance. There's a tree in Brooklyn, a tree in your shoe.
You're doing fine, honey.
Blue is a color, and you're blue when you got the blues. But love, since Adam and Eve had their bling, love means the same old thing.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a tricky tune, too, boy. Let's see what the Jubilaires can do with one of theirs. What a workout on a Monday morning, huh? Harumph, calf, calf. What's going on here?
I know. Oh, yes, I know that you and I will never meet again. For you were meant for somebody else. Somebody else. That night, oh yes, that night, the night when first we met, I fell in love with you, and now I simply can't forget. I can't forget, oh darling, but never meet again beneath those moonlit skies. Darling, I know that my love will follow you as the years go passing by. Oh, darling, I know. Oh, yes, I know that you and I will never meet again. For you were meant for somebody else, somebody else. Oh, darling, but if we never meet again, beneath
beneath those moonlit skies. Darling, I know that my love will follow you as the years go passing by. Oh, darling, I know. Oh, yes, I know that you and I will never meet again. For you were meant for somebody else. That's wonderful. Where did that song come from? Who wrote that? You did. Well, bless my soul, one of the Jubileers wrote it. The leader of the Jubileers. That's a wonderful thing. Have you had it published? Have you? That's a great song. What's the title of it? Just I Know. Oh, that's very, very good. Do that again for us someday, will you? Sure. Who's that little girl down there? What's your name, honey? Come up here and see me, will you? Come on up here and see me. It's the cutest little girl sitting down in the front row. Come up here and sit on this chair by me, will you? Got a little blue figured dress on. It's just as cute as it can be. Come here, honey. How are you?
All right.
You're all right, huh? You want to come sit on my lap? What's your name?
Ellen Gale Wren.
Alan what?
Ellen Gale Wren.
Oh, I see. I beg your pardon. Alan, how old are you, honey?
4.5.
4.5? Where do you come from?
From Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn. Well. Have you been out to see the Dodgers play lately?
Yes.
You have? How far are they ahead of the Boston folks now? Is it Boston they're ahead of or Cardinals? Cardinals, yeah. How far are they ahead of the Cardinals? Yes. Do you sing, Ellen? What do you sing?
Bell-bottom trousers.
Bell-bottom trousers? Will you sing it for me? Shoot. Go ahead.
Bell-bottom trousers, coat of navy blue. She loves a sailor and he loves her too. Now he's on a battleship across the mighty blue. Although the sailors swear, to him she is true.
Oh, good. Go on. Go ahead. What's the next chorus? Bell-bottom. Come on, sing it. Bell-bottom trousers again.
Bell-bottom trousers, coat of navy blue.
Root-tootie.
She loves a sailor and he loves her too. Now he's on a battleship across the mighty blue. Although the soldiers swear, to him she is true.
That's wonderful, Thank you. Oh, she's grand. And Pepsi-Cola is the drink for you on the end of it. Frank, we got time for a song from you, my boy. Frank Saunders.
Over in Killarney, many years ago, my mother sang a song to me in tones so sweet and low. Just a simple little ditty in her good old Irish way, and I'd give the world if she would sing that song to me this day. Tooraloo-ra-loo-ra, don't you cry. Tooraloo,
you, Frank Saunders. And thank you, little Ellen Gale Lynn, for that lovely song. That was very nice. Well, we sure had a good rehearsal today, didn't we? Nick Kenny wants amateur shows. We'll give it to him. You all have a nice day, will you? A lovely, hot, and humid one. Be the good Lord willing, we'll see you again tomorrow about the same time. I hope Mrs. Ted Altonen out in Duluth, Minnesota got her chores done today during the station break. She complains it goes too fast. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Campbell Soups bring you Amos and Andy. How do you do, everyone? This is Bill Hay. For many years, Campbell's soups have been a familiar sight on kitchen shelves. Recently, a comparatively new soup, Campbell's Cream of Mushroom, has appeared on thousands of them. This soup has such a delicious, out-of-the-ordinary taste that once a family try it, they usually vote it a place among their regular standbys. People who know and love mushrooms have taken keenly to Campbell's Cream of Mushroom. Those who had never tasted mushrooms in any form are just as enthusiastic. Even the smooth, rich look of its creamy surface tempts their appetite. And they find its flavor so delightful that they soon put Campbell's Cream of Mushroom among the dishes they like best. It's a blending of fresh, sweet cream, heavier even than whipping cream, and young, cultivated mushrooms. Mushroom flavor fills every spoonful. Mushroom slices abound all through. Why not try Campbell's Cream of Mushroom soup tomorrow? Everything is in readiness for the wedding of Belita Green to Andrew H. Brown. Last night, a complete rehearsal was held at the church. Early this morning, a very elaborate canopy was placed over the entrance, and a thick carpet was laid from the curbstone to the church steps. Now we take you to the church, which is filled almost to capacity. In the congregation, there are many girls whom Andy has known in the past. Lightning, Van Porter, Brother Crawford, and Gwendell are acting as ushers, and they have successfully seated the entire gathering. At the last minute, it was decided that the Kingfish would give the bride away. Amos's wife, Ruby, has agreed to act as matron of honor. And, of course, Amos will be the best man for his close friend, Andy. As the scene opens now, we hear the organ in the background of the crowded little church. The wedding party is in the rear, but we find the groom, Andy, and his best man in a little room to the left of the altar. The door is open, and Amos and Andy are seated so that those in the church cannot see them. Here they are.
Well, now, don't get nervous, Andy. That's the main thing, you see.
Well, you'd get nervous, too, if you was in my place.
I know.
Oh, this is a big thing, Amos.
Yeah.
Oh, me, why don't the thing start?
Well, I think as soon as this music is over from the organ, then the mixed quartet from the lodge is going to sing one song, and then they go right into the wedding march.
Yeah. Peek out that door there.
All right, I peek it.
Don't let them see you, though. Is there many people out there?
Yeah, the church is almost full, Andy.
It is, huh?
Yeah, I see Madam Queen sitting out there. And there's Sadie Blake, too.
Oh, me. I was nervous, Amos.
But that's all right, and I'm with you. Now, take it easy, son. Come on now. Pull yourself together.
My mouth is getting dry just like I told you it was.
Uh,
I feel like I got a mouthful of cotton.
Yeah, now, when you stand up at the altar there'll be a table right in front of you, and there it is out there now, and it's got a pitcher of water on there. And the preacher says it's all right for you to take a drink when you get there if you feel kind of faint or anything, you see.
Is there water in the pitcher? I wish I had a drink of it now.
Yeah, well, the pitcher got water in it. I know. The only thing is, I can't go out there and get you a drink of it now. Wait till you get out there, 'cause the pitcher will be right in front of it, and then you can take a swallow of it when you get there, you see.
Why don't they start the thing?
Yeah, well, don't worry. Now, it did start in a minute. See, a couple of people are still coming in.
Yeah.
I got the ring now, you know.
Yeah, don't lose that. Now, what does I got to do?
Well, you remember what you done last night at the rehearsal?
What was that?
Well, you say, I do twice. You say that twice.
Well, why is I got to say it twice?
Well, the preacher asks you two different questions, you see. Then you say, I do once, then he asks you another question. Then you say, I do again, you see.
Yeah. You're going to be standing there by me, ain't you?
Oh, yeah, I is your best man, son. Yeah, now don't get nervous, Andy. I know just how you feel, but take it easy.
Yeah, well, stand up close to me now, 'cause I'm going to kind of lean on you.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
My knees been giving me trouble for the last 2 days.
What's the matter with your knees, then?
Oh, I don't know. My legs been acting like they've been made out of rubber.
Wait a minute.
Everything going all right now, Andy. Don't worry about nothing. Remember, I'm looking out for your interest.
Well, listen, Kingfish, why don't the thing start?
Yeah, well, I just sent Leighton back there to tell the organ to stop playing and let the mixed chorus sing, then we go right on.
Then we're almost ready to start, Andy.
I get nervous waiting.
Yeah, I know you is, Andy. Everything gonna be all right.
This waiting around is getting me. Everybody stick with me now, will you?
Oh, yeah. Well, we've been waiting for the bride, you know.
Well, ain't she here?
Oh, yeah, she been here, but she been on the telephone out in the front office.
She talk on the telephone all day. Why can't she let the telephone alone when she gonna get married?
Yeah, well, now, right after the singing, the organ goes into the wedding march, Andy, you see.
Yeah.
And then we start down the aisle, you see.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing we want to do... Wait a minute.
There goes the singing now.
Yeah.
Well, now, listen, boys. I'm going to leave you, and I'm going to get on in the back of the church there so I can be ready. Now, we'll start the wedding session right after the song, Andy. Brother Andy, shake hands.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, Kingfish.
Stand up now, Andy. You's all right now, Andy. Come on now.
What is the first thing that happened, Amos?
Well, you remember the rehearsal we had, don't you? You remember what you done last night at the rehearsal?
Yeah, me and you walk over and stand there in the middle when the wedding march starts.
Yeah, that's right. We stand right up at the altar there.
Well, now, how do they come down the aisle?
Well, the first thing that happens, the ushers come down first. You see, you got the 4 ushers. And then my wife, Ruby, is the matron of honor, you know. And she come down next.
Yeah.
And then...
How about Pudding Face?
Yeah, well, the bride comes down with the kingfish. Of course, the kingfish is going to give her away, you see.
Yeah.
And they ask who give the bride away, and the kingfish is the one that say, I do, you see.
Well,
there's the wedding march now. Come on, let's get on out here. Come on.
How I look?
You look all right. Come on, follow me now.
Yeah, here I go. Come on.
Yeah. Now, that's right. Stand right here now. That's right. Now, face the window that's got all them pretty colored stained glass in there, and look at there.
Yeah, I'll stand here like this.
Yeah, that's it. Now take your time. They're coming down the aisle. Everything gonna be all right now.
Yeah, here comes the preacher, too.
Yeah, he walked out from behind the palms.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't be nervous now.
Is they coming down the aisle, Amos?
Yeah, they're almost here. And don't forget now, you got to turn around and meet your bride. Don't forget that.
Yeah, you got my ring, ain't you? You got my ring, ain't you?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. It is right here. Yeah. Now move over a little bit. There's here. Move over a little bit so your wife can get next to you.
Yeah. I'll move over here. Hello, darling.
Dearly beloved, we are here reverently assembled to see this man and this woman united and married, which is a relation divinely instituted and sanctified for the welfare and happiness of mankind. By this relation, the home is established, bringing the truest joys on earth,
but it involves unfailing fidelity, unselfish devotion, and sometimes loving forbearance. For as much as these two persons have come hither to be made one in this holy estate, if there be any here present who knows any just cause why they may not be lawfully joined in marriage, I require him to make it known now or ever after hold his peace. The vow shall now be spoken, after which we will bow our heads in prayer. So I ask you, who giveth this woman to be married to this man? I do. As a token of your unfailing desire, and as a token of your united lives, you may join your right hand. Do you, Andrew H. Brown, take this woman whose hand you now hold to be your lawful wedded wife?
I do.
Do you promise to love and cherish her in sickness and in health, for better or for worse, and forsaking all others, keep thee only unto her, so long as ye both shall live?
I do.
Do you, Violetta Green, take this man whose hand you now hold to be your lawful wedded husband? And do you promise to love and cherish him in sickness and in health, for better or for worse, and forsaking all others, keep thee only unto him, so long as ye both shall live?
I do.
Andy, what pledge do you offer that you will fulfill these vows?
Here's the ring, Andy.
This diamond wedding ring.
Do you, Violetta, accept this token of the same?
I do.
You will then, Andy, place the ring on the fourth finger of the left hand. You will now join hands. I, by virtue of authority vested in me by the state and this church, I now pronounce you...
Amos, I shot.
Andy, is you hurt?
Amos, my arm, my right arm, quick.
Somebody shot from the back of the church.
Amos, my arm.
King, please help me. We got to get Andy to a hospital.
Amos, help me. I think I'm going to faint. Somebody done shot me in the arm.
Get a hold of him. Come on, we're going to take him out here.
Tonight is another step forward in the great career of Amos and Andy. For tonight they are broadcasting over the largest network of stations in their history. I wish for Amos and Andy and Campbell's Soups to welcome most heartily their old friends and the hundreds of thousands of new ones who, for the first time, through these increased stations, can now easily hear Amos and Andy each night. Campbell's Soups are glad to bring you Amos and Andy because they are such nationally loved characters with a homey philosophy that attacks life's problems in a way that interests, amuses, and, in so many cases, helps. And for my part, I'm glad to be able to talk to a still larger audience to suggest you're serving various Campbell soups. Tonight I want to suggest this. Won't you try Campbell's cream of mushroom soup tomorrow? This may be a new soup to you, but I am confident that if you once serve it, your family will want it often.
Amos and Andy in person will return to you tomorrow at this same hour over this same station. This is Bill Hay speaking for Campbell's Cream of Mushroom Soup, bidding you all good night.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Mountain, river, and plain, through wind and storm, rides Anne of the Airlines.
Ann Burton, after delivering a secret wavelength to Jack Baker by parachuting down to the uncharted airport in the heart of the Florida Everglades, has attempted to find her way back to the emergency landing field near Miami. Meanwhile, Jack, apparently falling in with a scheme to smuggle diamonds from Africa, is assisting the government Secret Service in gathering information on the illicit diamond syndicate. Arrangements have been made for gasoline with which to fly the Atlantic Ocean, and as Jack waits for this gas, Joe mentions the name of a man, evidently a native, that he met who called himself Zeb. At the mention of the name, Vic grows excited and speeds the preparations for the takeoff. Meanwhile, a native armed with a rifle has taken Aunt Hattie and Art Morrison into custody. Could it be the same man that Joe met? And if so, what connection has he with the smuggling ring? And what of Ann Burton? Will she appear at the emergency field? Suppose we look in at the emergency field near Miami. Listen.
No, sir, I didn't see hide nor hair of her anywhere.
Oh, I'm sure that Anne would be able to find a phone or some way of letting us know.
Well, I think Ann either hid herself to wait for darkness or she's making pretty slow progress. Unless
what, Mr. Morris?
I reckon he means unless she got tangled up in them Everglades. And it ain't no trick at all to do that, especially when you don't know 'em.
I suppose I should be very calm and collected, but frankly, I'm nervous as a cat. And you with that rifle last night. Well, that wasn't exactly a sedative to my nerves.
I'm sorry about that, Miss Jackson, but I thought you folks was hooked up with them smugglers, and I wasn't taking no chances.
No, one could see that perfectly. But I still can't see why you're interested in these smuggling people, Mr. Zeb. Surely you're not connected with the government, too.
Well, no, except that I'm a citizen of it. I guess you must have been sort of dozing when I told Morrison about it last night.
Well, I'll admit I was pretty sleepy. But my feminine curiosity is burning to know all about it.
You're sure it's all right to tell her the whole thing, Mr. Morrison?
Oh, of course, Zeb. Aunt Hattie has certainly been a great help to us so far. And I'm sure your story might clear up a lot of things.
Well, there ain't a whole lot to tell, Mom, as Morrison knows. I used to live here in Florida a few years back. And then me and another fella, named George Ross, got hold of a map from an old sailor while we was down at Key West one time. It showed the place where there's supposed to be a lot of diamonds.
You mean here in Florida?
No, Mom. George would probably have been here today if it had been. No, these diamonds were in a place in Africa, just a little ways from where the Kimberley mines are, but where nobody ever thought of looking for diamonds before.
You never told me, Zeb, where the sailor got the map in the first place.
I know it because I don't know. You just don't ask sailors where they get things like that. I did him a good turn, and he give me the map because he said he was too old to have a try at it himself.
But surely he could have sold an interest in the map.
Yes'm, and I was going to give him part of whatever me and George found, except that he died before we even left Key West. So us two, me and George, we got jobs on cattle boats to Cape Town. And from there, we sort of fought our way through the jungle. Part of the time fighting the wild animals and part of the time with the savages.
But you found the place.
Yes'm, just like the map showed. The natives had been using the stones for sort of decorations for years. Only they liked the 10-cent store jewelry we took 'em lots better.
Just think of that, not knowing the value of real diamonds.
Well, to tell you the truth, Mom, from the standpoint of decoration, the glass looked lots better. But that's the only thing the natives was looking for, so by trading them the stuff they wanted, we got along with them pretty good.
But whatever possessed you to leave there with a fortune in your hand?
Well, now, I was coming to that. One day after George and me got together, what we thought was enough to last any man a lifetime, one of the natives come running up and told us that there was white men in the neighborhood, and the signal drums had sent out the word that the strangers were kind of low down and no good, and that they'd been asking for 2 Americans and a diamond mine.
You know, the signal drums are almost as good as white man's radio.
Better. Nobody understands them, except those that they're supposed to. Well, I decided to leave George on guard at the mine and go to the native village and have a talk with the chief and see who these fellas were. But I get to the village and it's deserted.
You mean the natives had run away?
Well, them as didn't run never would run again. Place looked like a cyclone had struck it. So I went back to our camp just as fast as I could, and, well, they'd beat me to it. Cleaned out everything slick as a whistle. Diamonds, supplies, everything.
But your friend George?
Never saw a hide nor hair of him. Not a trace. But tacked on a tree was a note saying that this was just a warning, that they would take care of the mine from now on. And it was signed the doctor. Well, I couldn't stay there with no supplies, so I made my way back to the coast. Then I decided to come to the States and see if I couldn't run down the dock and maybe get back some of the diamonds he'd robbed me of. And see if I couldn't get some wind of George.
My. It all sounds like something out of a book. Oh, please go on, Mr. Zepp.
Well, I got a sort of a hint that they was operating out of the Everglades with airplanes, and I've been here for the last few weeks trying to find one of them. I thought sure I had 'em dead to rights when I come upon you two last night.
Well, Mr. Zebb, now that you know it really was Doc's gang that you missed, and you know where they are, just what do you think you can do about it?
Well, now, Miss Jackson, you sort of got me there.
Zeb, I've been sort of thinking things over. Why don't we join forces in this thing?
Well, sir, I was just sort of hoping that you'd mention something like that. Only I don't think I'd be much use in one of them airships.
Now, you just leave the airship business up to us. And you take care of the tracking job, which is far more important. Now, the first thing that I'd suggest would be...
Shh. Listen.
What is it? Did you hear something coming? Oh!
Somebody talking. Kind of far away like.
I don't seem to... Yes. Oh, I get it. It's the radio. I turn the receiver on every now and then. Much as I hate to use the battery, but just in case we get a call. And it looks like we have a bite. I'll see if it is. Well, I hate to use the battery this way, but here goes. Need a little volume, I guess.
D12 calling Morrison. D12 calling Morrison.
Morrison answering D12. Come in, D12.
Where are you, Morrison? Can you give us your exact position?
Can't give you exact latitude and longitude, but... Well, let's see. I'm about 14 miles northwest of Miami, as I make it.
Close enough. We've been picking up carrier wave from interstate transport for the last 2 hours, but no voice until a short time ago. Then heard sound like stumbling over something and woman's voice saying, I must hide quick, but where? What do you make of it?
Sounds like Ann Burton's been forced to hide in the ship. But you didn't hear Baker?
Not a sound except the carrier wave.
Have you cross-checked the position of the transport?
Our check shows it must be about 40 miles northwest of you. What are your plans?
Well, we're still waiting for Ann Burton to show up here. We may have to chance a flight to pick her up. I'll call you back in a few minutes.
Okay, Morrison. Good luck.
Thanks, D12.
You don't suppose those two gangsters have discovered Anne, do you, Mr. Art?
Well, from what D12 heard, it doesn't sound like it. But it's sure that she hasn't found any way to get away from that secret airport.
But we have to do something.
Well, of course, we don't know just how long it'll be before they can get that ship gassed up for the ocean flight. But they probably have a supply of gas not far away.
Yes, there's a sort of a renegade ship's outfitter runs in gas for these fellas. And from the place that radio man gives, he ain't so far away, but what they could have a lot of gasoline in that airship by this time.
Then that means they might be starting out right now.
Well, once they start out, that'll give Jack a chance to contact our headquarters. Because Vic and Joe won't be able to hear what he says or what he hears through the earphones. What about Ann? Well, that one has me stumped.
Well, it ain't got me stumped. That is, if we got one of them fancy bumbershoot that them flyers used to come down in.
You mean a parachute? Say, there's a couple of them packed in the back. But just who's going to do it?
I am, by cracky. If that snip of a girl had nerve enough to jump over out of an airship and trust a couple of yards of goods to keep her from breaking her neck, I guess Zebulon Abercrombie, Esquire, can do it, too. All you have to do is show me how to make the thing bust open at the right time.
But I don't understand just what you intend to do when you get there. If Anne couldn't get back, how do you think that
Now, here's what I figure. I'll jump out of this thing somewhere near this landing field. But you got to fly over it, so's I'll know, because I sure missed it while I was prowling around down there. But you fly pretty close, but not close enough to give 'em a hint. If they ain't left with that big ship yet, then I'll find my way to where they keep the airship.
Yeah, but I still don't see how you intend to locate Ann.
Well, after hearing what that radio man said, I get it like this. That girl ain't been able to find the road, or else she's afraid to get out on it for fear of being seen, as long as them two crooks are still there. So she comes back to the only place she knows that she can hide, which is the shed where the airship is. Somebody must have been coming pretty close to the shed when she talked into that radio, so she just slipped into the airship until they left. Well, she's bound to be close to that shed. I'll find her. We'll bring her back to that little settlement. Then I guess I can hire that Jasper fella with the speedboat to bring us down the canal.
Well, then, as I get it, Zeb, after we drop you, we come back here and wait for you to bring Ann back. Is that it?
That's right, Art. And once we get all of us together, maybe we can find some way to get to Africa.
Well, first let's see about that chute. Oh, yeah, here it is. Now, Zeb, we better get you into it before we start the motors.
Get into it?
Yes, I'm afraid you'll really have to get into one of those things, Zeb.
Okay. I reckon I ain't as young as I used to be. That strap ought to go over there, right there. And this one? There, that's it. Yeah, say, I must have got this thing on upside down. I thought it ought to fit right over my shoulder blades. Instead of that, it hangs down like a kind of an in-gate on a wagon.
That's all right, Zeb. Now, when you get ready to jump...
You mean I've got to stand up all the way to wherever it is we're heading for?
Have to stand... Oh, I see what you mean. No. You just sit right down on the chute just like it was a cushion. That's the way they're built. Well, when you get ready to jump, all you have to do is to fall out face forward and then count 10. And pull this ring. And I mean really pull it.
And don't worry about me pulling that when I kind of want to put on the brakes. Only thing is, I might want to sort of slow up a little while I count.
D12 calling Morrison. D12 calling Morrison.
The radio again. Maybe Jack sent something about Ann.
Morrison answering D12. Come in, D12.
Interstate transmitter switched from our wavelength to lower band. They called TS and said they were taking off in half an hour.
A half hour? If Ann can stay in hiding that long.
Did you check reply, D12?
No reply as yet, but we're waiting with 4 receivers tuned to frequency to get location through cross-check.
Fine. We're taking off now to see if we can locate Miss Burton. She's probably around hangar. If transport is left, we might take a chance on using their runway. Signing off.
We'll wait for your call. Good luck, Morrison. Signing off.
But suppose that Ann is still somewhere on the transport. What can we do then?
Well, that's just one of the chances we'll have to take. But I hardly think that she'd be able to hide until they take off without some of them seeing her.
Well, I think we'd better start. Every minute might count.
Okay. Here goes the motor.
Getting kind of anxious to get there myself. I just want to see if this here drawstring is really going to work.
Will Zeb make his way to the secret landing field in time to lead Ann to safety from her hiding place in the ship? Or will Ann be discovered by the two gangsters before the start is made? Time alone will tell, so don't miss the next nerve-tingling chapter of Ann of the Airlines.
The bakers of Weber's Bread present your all-star Western Theater.
Drifting along, singing a song under a
Hollywood comes your all-star Western theater, starring America's great Western singers Foy Willing and the Riders of the Purple Sage. Our guest star today is that great singing cowboy from the Western screen, Tex Ritter, in a story of the West prepared especially for him. Now, here are the Riders of the Purple Sage.
A golden sun in the sky, a silver cloud rolling by, they make me feel like I should be where rocky roads are calling me. I don't know just where I'm bound, I know I won't settle down just like I see the wild wind sow. I'll just pack my saddle and my pony I'll straddle and go riding down the rocky road.
Seems that I was born to tote a heavy load and ride the rocky road forever. But it's down the rocky road where true friends stand and travel hand in hand together.
A golden sun in the sky, a silver cloud rolling by, they make me feel like I should be where rocky roads are calling me. I don't know just where I'm bound, I know I won't settle down just like I see the wild wind sow. I'll just pack my saddle and my pony I'll straddle and go riding down the rocky road.
Before the law came to the frontier to stay, our great Southwest was the stamping ground for all sorts of desperate characters. Gunslingers, hold-up men, and cattle rustlers would have wrecked the Old West if it hadn't been for the individual cowpunchers who held the evildoers at bay and made a great contribution to the community. Today, the bakers of Weber's bread make a great contribution to the community, too. It's a different sort, but equally important, for they bake famous Weber's bread. The bread that's always good bread. Southern California housewives know that when they serve Weber's bread for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, the entire family will really enjoy its distinctive flavor and longer-lasting freshness. Look for Weber's bread in the blue gingham wrapper next time you go shopping. Buy a loaf and serve it to your family. They'll like it.
Now, by special request, the Riders of the Purple Sage repeat a song they did a few weeks ago. One of the nation's all-time favorites, To Each His Own.
A rose must remain with the sun and the rain, for its lovely promise won't come true. To each his own, to each his own, and my own is you. What good is a song if the words don't belong, and a dream must be a dream for two? No good alone, to each his own. For me there's you. If a flame is to grow, there must be a glow. To open each door, there's a key. I need you, I know. I can't let you go. Your touch means too much to me. Two lips must insist on two more to be kissed, or they'll never know what love can do. To each his own, I found my own, one and only you.
It's guest star time at your all-star Western Theater. And today we welcome a return visit from America's great cowboy singing star of Western pictures and Capitol Records, Tex Ritter. Our story today, written especially for our guest star, is entitled I Came from Texas. Tex Ritter is heard as a carefree, fast-drawing, quick-thinking, hard-riding man from Texas. Our scene is the wild, untamed cow town of Spur City, Wyoming, back in the days when a quick draw was law.
You know, Pete, a stranger's got a better chance in this town since that Texas feller blowed in and made himself acquainted.
You know, being a stranger myself, I know what you mean.
Yes, sir, that feller really made him sit up and take notice.
Anybody know anything about him?
No. And he didn't mean for him to find out either. When anybody asked him where he was from, he just said, I came from Texas. And he said it in such a way that, well, you didn't have a hankering to ask him anything else.
You know what's funny about fellas like him? Nobody knows nothing about him. Blows in, takes over, and then takes out. I wish I'd have known him.
He was sure some man. I'll never forget when he first came riding into Spur City. I was sitting down in front of Slick Gaylord's saloon when he came a-riding in singing a song. Seemed like the most peaceful man in the world. But that was what fooled a lot of people.
Diamond, Jack the Diamond, and I know you of old. You've robbed my poor pocket of the silver and gold. Whoa, boy, whoa. Easy. Howdy, stranger. Where can a man put up for the night?
Well, they can take care of you in Slick Gaylord's place here.
Much obliged. Jack a diamond, Jack a diamond, you've been my downfall. You kick me, you cut me.
Name your poison, stranger.
I'd be much obliged for the biggest glass of water you serve.
Water?
Your ears don't lap over. I said water. You know, the stuff that falls from up there. I'm thirsty.
Oh, water. Well, coming right up. Here you are.
Much obliged. Fill her up again.
You mean you want more of that stuff?
How'd you guess?
Say, stranger, did it ever occur to you that this bar might be in business for a profit?
What business is that of yours?
I happen to own the place.
Well, that don't quench my thirst a bit.
Huh?
Much obliged, barkeep. Here's $1 for you. And it don't go in the register.
Much obliged. Look here, stranger. I don't know who you are, but I think you did that for my benefit.
You're exactly right, my friend. I don't like your looks. And I don't like your attitude. But I like your place of business, so reckon I'll stick around for a spell.
Is that so? Well, I have a special committee of one to welcome fellas like you. Hey, Frenchie. Frenchie Lang.
Yes, Slick.
Come here.
I'd be proud to meet him.
What is it, Slick? Show this gentleman out the door. He doesn't like my looks. Glad to do it, Slick.
All right, stranger. Blow. You're getting a little warm, friend. So maybe I'd better fan you.
All right, stranger. You're making trouble in the wrong place. You know that, don't you?
Reach for that gun, you'll wish you hadn't.
I ain't reaching. Now, don't you think you better move on?
Well, you ain't asking me nice enough yet.
Just who are you and where you from?
None of your business who I am. Come from Texas.
Texas, eh?
Yeah. That's a state. Hey, barkeep, give me another glass of water.
Well, how about it, Slick?
Oh, I don't think Slick objects. Do you, Slick?
Now, look here, Texas. You're looking for trouble, and you came to the right place to find it.
Tell you what I'll do, Slick. You don't like me, and I doggone sure don't like you. I'll cut you a high card to see which one gets down on his knees and apologizes to the other.
What's the idea?
Well, I'm giving you an even break. Because if me and you don't start getting along with each other, one of us is gonna get hurt. It ain't gonna be me.
Hand me a deck of cards, Joe. Here you are, Slick.
All right, Texas.
We cut to see who gets down on their knees.
Take a card, Slick.
Here it is. 10 of hearts.
Not bad. I'll try my luck. Jack of diamonds.
Now, look here, stranger. You've carried this too far.
All right, Slick. Start kneeling.
You can't get away with this.
I'll bet you my horse and saddle that before I leave here, you're going to kneel down and tell old Texas that you're sorry. And I don't like to be kept waiting.
If any of my boys were around here, you wouldn't get by with this.
don't you wake that one up I put to sleep a few minutes ago. Maybe he'd like to help. Come on, Slick. You made a deal with me and you're stuck with it.
Let him have it, Joe.
All right, Slick. I'm through fooling around. Before I get nervous and let this gun go off again, you start carrying out your end of the bargain. Ah. That's fine. Now say, Texas, I'm sorry.
Texas, I'm sorry.
And from now on, I'll be a good little boy.
Now, look here.
You heard me?
And from now on, I'll be a good little boy.
That's fine. Now get up off your knees and I'll buy you a drink.
You're going to hear from me, stranger. I ain't forgetting this.
I reckon it will be kind of hard to forget.
Just see to it that you make yourself scarce in these parts, you hear me?
Slick, I have too much fun with you to want to leave this town. I'll be seeing you later.
Yes, sir, Pete. He was the doggonedest fellow you ever heard tell of. Wasn't afraid of nothing. Been anybody else that had a run-in with Slick Gaylord like that, it would have just been too bad for him. But this fellow had a charmed way of doing things. The very next afternoon, he was crossing the street, headed towards Slick's place, when old Tom Edwards stopped him. Tom had been having some trouble with Slick.
Wonder if I might talk to you a minute.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind?
I was in Slick Gaylord's place last night, and I just wanted to tell you, I admire a man who can stand up against the likes of him.
Well, he kind of got my hair, so I just figured I'd comb him out.
Yeah, it's a shame there ain't more men around here. Don't buck up to him like you do. If I was 20 years younger, he wouldn't be running me around like he's doing.
What's he doing to you?
I had to lean against my ranch, and he up and decides that he'd like to have my place. So he bought my paper from the bank, and now he's trying to close me and my daughter out.
How much has he got against you?
$4,000. But I ain't got a chance to raise it till fall. And he's in cahoots with the banker, old Sam Lawson. So it looks like I'm stuck.
What's your next move?
I'm going to go in and see him now. That's what I was down last night for. But after you left, he was in no condition to talk with anybody.
How much time you got to raise this money?
Only till tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.
Look, Edwards, don't see Gaylord yet. Just leave him to me.
Yeah, but I've got to talk to him, stranger.
I know this don't make sense, but if you'll trust me, I'll settle the whole thing and be at your house tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And they won't foreclose on you and your daughter.
Well, see, I don't know why, but I'm going to do what you say.
Good. You see, I got an awful bad habit of putting my nose into other people's business. But I kind of enjoy it.
Son, I sure hope you can help us.
I'll figure it out some way. See you in the morning.
Thanks again. So long to you.
How you doing, Joe?
Oh, it's you again. What do you want? More water?
No, Joe, ain't thirsty today. How's that hole I put through your gun hand last night?
Kind of sore like, but look, Texas, I didn't want to draw on you.
Forget it, Joe. Where's Slick?
Well, he's out on some business today. If you'll take my advice, you won't let him catch you in here. He's carrying enough gunmen around here to start another civil war since he had that run-in with you.
Well, that's good. My trigger finger's kind of itchy.
Man, you talk like you're out of your head sometimes.
Think I'll sit in on this card game for a spell.
They welcome all comers at that table, especially strangers with money.
Well, I'm a stranger, and I'm packing a few dollars, so here goes.
Watch him close.
Much obliged, Joe. Oh, and by the way, make me a big pitcher of ice water. I might get thirsty.
Well, Pete, I was watching him. He sets in the game. I could tell the way the boys was figuring on trimming him, but they was being mighty careful about it. Because they'd seen what had happened the night before. But doggone if he didn't have the finest streak of luck I'd ever seen. I guess it was luck. At any rate, he was taking them slow but sure.
That must have been a sight. Then what happened?
Well, the game went on until around 10 o'clock that night. That was when the old Texas boy made his big killing. He dealt a hand of 5-card stud, After the last card had been dealt, all three players had caught a jack. The next biggest card up was a 10 spot, which old Lang was a-holding. That's when the betting really started nervous.
All right, Texas. I'll bet you 200.
I called and raised 2.
Beats my hand. Pass. You can't be holding the case, Jack. I'll raise that 500.
500, huh? How much you got in front of you?
I got 1,200 left.
I'll bet 1,200.
Well, I'll call with a pair of 10s. What do you got?
I ain't looked at my whole card yet. But I got a hunch it's there.
Oh, so you're trying to bluff me, huh?
I'll let you know in a minute. Turn this little card over and see.
The jack of diamonds.
Yes, sir. Pair of jacks.
Just wait a minute. This looks phony to me.
Ordinarily, for a remark like that, I'd shove a deck of cards down your gullet.
Oh, yeah?
Since you're the heavy loser, I'll just forget it.
Then see what you can do about this.
There's $1, boys. When he wakes up, tell him to have a drink on Old Texas. Well, Joe, you better give me another glass of water. I gotta be going.
Got it ready and waiting for you, Texas.
Much obliged. Here's $100. Buy your kids some Christmas toys.
But it's 6 months till Christmas, Texas.
Then I'll take it back and give it to you then.
Oh, no, that's all right. I'll save it for him.
That's better. Wonder why Slick ain't been in today.
Well, don't know. It must be something mighty important to keep him away this long, though.
I'll tell him I'll see him in the morning.
All right, Texas, and thanks for the 100. The kids will sure appreciate it.
Oh, don't lie to me, boy. Your kids will never see that money.
Well, he is the doggonedest doggone feller I ever seen in my whole put together.
Yes?
I'd like to see Mr. Edwards.
Haven't you heard about him?
No, what do you mean?
He was killed last night.
Killed?
That's right. His body was found late last night over near the river crossing. Just what you want to see him about, Texas?
Well, I was going to help him on a little business matter this morning.
Who is it, Bill?
Jane, this is Texas, a friend of your father's.
Hello, Texas.
Howdy, ma'am. Sorry about everything. But I had a talk with your father yesterday afternoon, and I arranged a loan for him. I told him I'd come by this morning.
I guess it's too late now. I don't know what to do.
Well, miss, I hate to have to talk to you at a time like this, but I can help you if you'll tell me what you need.
Mr. Gaylord is supposed to be here this morning for his money.
You'll find the full amount in this envelope. We'll arrange the loan details later.
I don't know what this is all about, except to thank you.
It's all right, miss. Now tell me, do you have any idea as to who would have wanted to shoot your father?
Oh, he didn't have an enemy in the world. I know it. That is, except his business differences with Slick Gaylord.
That's all I need to know. I'm sorry to have troubled you, ma'am, but I have to be going. I'll see you again tomorrow.
Oh, and thank you so much.
Are you the sheriff?
That's right, stranger. What's it for you?
Come with me. I'm going to give you a job to do.
Well, what are you talking about?
I'll take care of everything. I just want you standing by to clean up the mess after I get through. Come on. All right, Gaylord. Start talking. Where were you last night?
What are you talking about? Sheriff, what are you doing with this man?
Well, I don't know, Slick. He just asked me to come with him.
All right, Texas, beat it. You're going to have real trouble if we tangle again.
Answer my question. Where were you last night?
What do you want to know for?
Tom Edwards was shot in the back last night.
Yeah, what's that got to do with me?
Plenty. Where were you?
Well, for your information and the sheriff's, I was over at Rocktown last night. I played cards in my brother's saloon all night. Ain't that right?
That's right. I was with him. Well, I reckon that clears you of this stranger's acquisition, Slick.
And not so fast, Sheriff. Slick, I say you're lying.
Now, look here, Texas. You ain't going to get by with that kind of talk this time.
That's right, stranger. You can't accuse a man of murder unless you know what you're talking about.
And what if I prove what I say is true, that he's lying?
Well, that's different, of course.
All right, Slick. What do you think of this? You say that you were at your brother's saloon in Rocktown all night.
That's right.
Then I don't reckon you heard the news.
What news?
Your brother's saloon burned to the ground yesterday evening about 6 o'clock.
Why, you stand back. I got your cover.
You better put that gun down, Slick, because I'm coming in to take it away from you.
You better not. I'll shoot. Don't come any further.
All right, Sheriff. That's your man.
Well, Slick, looks like you're in for it.
Texas, I'll get you someday for this.
Where you're going after you reach the end of that rope, you won't be bothering anybody.
Well, as for you, stranger, you should have told me about these things and let me handle the case. I'm the sheriff here.
Well, I just like to work things out my own way, Sheriff.
Well, it looks like you've done it this time. Well, Slick, come on. We'll get that gun hand of yours patched up and head for the county seat.
Texas, I was sure thinking for a minute there that you was in trouble, I'm telling you.
So did I, Joe. You better give me a glass of water.
Yes, sir, he sure pulled a fast one on old Slick.
Is that what became of him?
Well, it seems as if he kind of got stuck on that Edwards gal. He stayed around about a week, and when anybody wanted him, they knew right where he'd be, out to see that pretty Jane Edwards.
I wish you wouldn't talk about leaving here.
I'd like to stay around, Miss Jane, but I ain't so much on settling down.
I wish you were different in that respect.
I do too, Miss Jane,
Oh,
but...
please don't call me Miss Jane.
I'm sorry, Miss Jane.
I need help on the ranch. Awfully bad.
You've got a bunch of good men. Well, I'd like to stay around, but something tells me not to.
What tells you not to?
I don't know. Tell you what I'll do. I'll cut a deck of cards. Any card from ace to 7 means I'll go to work for you. From an 8 to a king means I ride on.
I'll get a deck of cards.
Oh, I always carry 'em myself. Here, shuffle 'em up.
This is fun. Unless I lose.
I figure I'll lose either way.
All right. Cut them.
There.
Jack of diamonds.
Well, he rode away. And believe me, more people than just Miss Jane hated to see him leave.
I wonder where he went to.
I've been wondering myself, Pete. Funny, but I can just picture him right now riding into some town and singing that song in that carefree manner.
Jack of diamond, I know you of old. You've robbed my poor pocket of a silver and gold. Whoa, whoa, boy. Whoa, easy.
Howdy, stranger. Where can a man put up for the night?
I reckon they can take care of you in my green saloon.
Much obliged.
Jack of diamond, Jack of diamond, you've been my downfall. Kick me.
What'll be your pleasure, stranger?
I'd like a big glass of water.
Water?
Your ears don't lap over. I said water.
Thank you, Tex Ritter, for a grand performance. Heard with Tex in our cast today were Joe Forte, Harry Lang, Helen Gerald, Al Sloy, Jimmy Dean, and Johnny Girardi. Tex will be back with you in just a moment.
The early West was filled with restless men, forever on the move. They couldn't settle down, these pioneers. They're always riding on, anxious to see what lay beyond the next hill. But they accomplished a lot of good in passing, and they were good friends to the home builders. Today, the bakers of Weber's Bread are good friends to the home builders, too, for by supplying good bread, they relieve the modern housewife of her baking chores. And Weber's Bread is good bread. It's well mixed and well baked. There's a firm, even texture and a distinctive flavor that your entire family will really enjoy. Yes, for breakfast, lunch, in between snacks, and dinner, Weber's bread is always good. Buy a loaf of Weber's bread at your grocer's next time you go shopping. You'll find that Weber's bread is the bread your family really likes.
Now, here is Foy Willing returning to the microphone with our guest star, Tex Ritter.
Tex, it was good having you back with us once again.
Much obliged, Foy. It's nice keeping company with you boys and all the folks again.
Well, Tex, you know that just about brings us up to song time.
Now, don't ask me what I'm going to sing, because you already know. Just tell me when I'm supposed to do it, and I'll sing. Then I'll go home, leave all the folks alone.
You know, if the folks had their way about that, Tex, you'd never get home. But right now, we're ready and waiting for you to sing your latest Capitol recording release, When You Leave, Don't Slam the Door.
Then crank up your band, and I'll give it a try. Dishes are piled up in the sink, and you've been gone all day. I don't want you anymore. Pack your trunk and suitcase and go away from me. When you leave, don't slam the door. You've had a dozen different guys and always ran around. It's my time to two-time. I'm gonna paint the town. I'm a-changing all my ways. No more trifling days. When you leave, don't slam the door. If I see you on the street, I won't even speak. There's no room inside my heart for a liar and a sneak. There's nothing more to say. Please be on your way. When you leave, don't slam the door.
So long, Tex Ritter. It's been great having you as our guest. The writers of the Purple Sage have a special treat in store for you folks today as they bring you their latest recording release, Divorce Me, C.O.D.
Just bought me a great long ticket, gonna use it at 4 p.m. So you can call your secret love and break the news to him. You thought your little romance was on the strict QT. If you want your freedom, PDQ, divorce me, COD. I won't be round to hear you cry. I'm Texas bound, and by, you can reach me down in Dallas, general delivery. If you want your freedom, PDQ, divorce me, COD. I'll agree there still might be just as many fish swimming in the sea. Keep on fishing and maybe sometime some poor fish will nibble at your line. When he does, I bet you say, the best one I had got away.
There's gonna come a day, gal, when you'll be feeling blue. You'll find that you can't pay your bills with a little old IOU. This dynamite you're playing with may be TNT. If you want your freedom, PDQ, divorce me, COD.
I won't be round to hear you cry. I'm Texas bound, and by, you can reach me down in Dallas, general delivery. If you want your freedom, PDQ, divorce me, COD. Now, babe, there ain't no use to pretty please, 'cause I've been learning all my ABCs. Ain't no college professor, ain't got no PhD. If you want your freedom, PDQ, divorce me, COD.
From Hollywood, you've heard your all-star Western Theater, a V.M. Bear production starring America's great Western singers, Foy Willing, and the Riders of the Purple Sage. Our guest today has been that great star of the Western screen, Tex Ritter. Next week, another great star in a story of the West. This is Dave Vale speaking.
This program came to you from the studios of KNX, Columbia Square.
Small. You do be a great one now to interrupt me.
Well, Molly, I only wanted to tell you something.
Well, what is it now, Sam? Come on, now, Twit.
Never mind. Go on with your knitting.
Probably was nothing anyhow. 2, 1.
Molly.
What now, Sam?
I do think of having a pint of ale.
Pint of ale, indeed.
Well, now, what's wrong with that, Molly? Will you tell me?
'Tis every night a pint of ale, Sam.
Well, Molly, what would the British working man be without his pint of ale at day's end?
That's something the world never know till one of 'em tries it.
Oh, Molly.
And I don't suppose these ain't mood for noble experiments.
Well, Molly,
So for goodness sake, away you go down to a pub.
But, Molly...
Away you go. I see I'll get no peace, Sam Small, till they does.
Well, now, Molly, I think that you'd be very kind.
I did think, Sam Small, since I'm feeling poorly, that you might have spent one evening at home. 2, 1. 3.
Well, now, I do see you looks poorly tonight, Molly. I did so want just a pint of ale, though. Why, it's only 8 o'clock. A man's got to have ale once in a while. Working hard all day, you see. Well, Molly, I'll stay to home with you, I guess.
2, 1, no. You won't be doing that, Sam.
Yes, Molly, I'll stay to home.
And be pestering me the whole evening? Oh, no, you won't. Go along and get your pint of ale, Sammy Small.
Ah, Molly, you do be a fine girl. Now, I'll not be long.
You'll not, eh? I'll gamble, Sam Small, that you'll not leave that pub till midnight.
Oh, no, Molly.
You'll not be home till they chuck you out.
Good night, Molly. Now, isn't that just like a woman's dirty suspicions for thee, huh? I'll be back long before chucking out time, I will. Yes, long afore chucking out time. I'll show Molly she thinks wrong of me most all the time. There they are at it again.
I don't care if it is. It could be so.
They do be having an argument now. But I must remember to get home early. Molly'll be wrong this time.
It is not so.
Sam Small. Looky here, Sam. Godfrey Sitherwick there says that...
It's not so, Alvin, uncle, and you know it.
Let's hear what Sam says. Sam, you tell him. Go on, Sam. Tell him.
But
Aye, Sam, I'll tell you, he will. If anybody ought to know, it'll be Sam Small. Sam will know all right. Don't you, Sam?
Hold on. I come here for a bit of ale, and you both jump on me like...
Sure now, Sam. I'll get it for you.
Well, all we want to know
is... Not a word, Gaffer Sitherwick, until I drink me ale. Now, gentlemen.
I say it's not so. It's just not possible, is it, Sam?
And it says right here that it is so, Gaffer Sitherwick.
What is?
It's this way, Sam. It says right here in this newspaper that our doctor thinks this Hitler chap has got a
what, Uncle?
Well, anyhow, the word means a split personality, it says.
I think so. It can't be.
Oh, aye. You mean schizoperennial, don't you, Uncle?
Huh? What's that, Sam?
See? You don't know what you're talking about, Uncle. Schizoperennial, Gaffer. Yeah. It ain't so, is it, Sam?
Well, now, I've seen two personalities. It was in a movie picture once. One was...
I've come to a decision.
A decision? What kind of a decision, Gaffer?
I've decided that if you mean to stand there and tell me a chap can divide in two, then...
But it says so right here, Gaffer. Can't you read?
And what I say is it ain't human. It just ain't human. Sam Small, I tell you, no man can split in two. Not even a German.
More ale, Uncle. Now, see here, Gaffer. You've heard of twins, haven't you?
I have, Sam Small, but what?
If twins can happen, then happen this here schizoperennials like that. Only a chap becomes twins after he's born instead of before.
You're ale, Sam. Now what say, Gaffer?
Aye, nonsense.
And why nonsense, Gaffer?
I'd have heard of it. I'm the oldest chap here. And I never heard of that happening.
But it's only just come out like, Gaffer.
Aye, that's it.
I still don't believe a chap can split in two.
Now listen, Gaffer. You see, it's like this. Schizoperennial means that a man has two personalities, see? And that means... Another small ale, Uncle. Gaffer, will you understand me for the last time?
I still say a man is one man. He can't be two men.
Well,
Time, gentlemen. Time.
What, Uncle?
Time. Midnight, Sam. Got to close up, you know.
Midnight? Oh, you Gaffer, you and your thick head.
Thick head. Sam Small, I'll be no more...
Yeah, here it is, 12 and after. And me arguing with that dubby Gaffer all night. Mully'll think they chucked me out to close up again. Oh, me. I was so sure I'd leave early. What'll I tell Mully? I'll tell her I left early and walked lazy like. Happen she'll believe that. But I must hurry home now. Certainly is dark like that it is. Scarcely can see a thing. By gum, I must have bumped into that lamppost there. Oh, me head. Oh, then it wasn't the lamppost I bumped into. It must have been him over there. So, it was thee bumped into me, eh? Why don't you look where you're going?
6 of one and half dozen of t'other, lad.
Oh, now, don't argue with me. Give us a hand up.
How about you giving me a hand up?
Why, I never met such a nasty, unobliging chap. But come, I've no time to argue with you.
Well, neither have I.
My wife's poorly, and I promised to be home before chucking out time, and here I am.
Dear Swiller, if your wife's poorly, why doesn't you sit home with her?
Well, you see, me and the lads got to arguing about this schizoperennial thing.
Well, you should have been home with your wife.
Say, who are you, anyhow?
Why, I'm...
Here, let's have a look at you.
Well?
A bloomin' imposter.
What?
I've got you, you imposter.
Imposter yourself. I'm Samuel Small.
Oh, you liar. I'm Sam Small.
Nah, don't contradict me. Look at me and see if I don't look like Samuel Small.
Well, let me see. By gum, so you does.
Well, nah. You see for yourself.
Hey, don't go mixing me all up or you'll have me so conflummoxed I won't know what to think.
You're the one what mixes things up.
Hey, how can you prove you're Sam Small?
Well, I have a wife whose name is Molly.
So have I.
And I have a daughter who's far away in Yankee land.
So me too.
She's wed to a young chap there.
I'll be jiggered. I see he's a very clever imposter indeed.
But I'm not the imposter. You are.
At least you've looked up all my background.
Oh, wow.
But you slipped up on one thing. I know what I'll catch thee. There. See that watch?
Aye. It'd be a gold watch.
Aye, it do be gold. And there, Read that, what's written on the case.
To Sam Small.
I know it by heart. It reads to Sam Small from his loyal wife Millicent on their wedding day. Now, see?
Well, I'll be jiggered. Look, my watch.
Huh?
Exactly the same.
To Sam Small from his loyal wife Millicent. Ooh.
See? Now, what you say?
Oh, by gum, I am in trouble.
Aye, you're in trouble.
Oh, I must have done something wrong. And here I stand not knowing whether I'm me, or you are me, or I'm you.
Or whether us is both we.
Why, that's it.
What's it?
We're both me, both of us.
Both of us are you?
To be sure, it's schizoperennial.
Schizoperennial?
Sure, my personality split wide open, just like Godfrey and me was arguing down at the pub.
Well, what?
I've become too honest.
Well, by gum, think of that now. But what can us do about it?
Luke, this is a very important happening, lad. We've got to go careful about it.
We do, eh?
Aye. This needs proper discussion. Now, for the sake of getting it straight a bit, suppose I call you Samuel, and you call me Sam.
I see. You're Sam.
And you're Samuel.
Right.
Right. Now, listen, Samuel.
Aye.
If we handle this carefully, there's a fortune in it. For instance, doctors and such with scientific curiosity, why, they'd pay a right lot of brass to meet a couple of chaps like us, those doctors would.
Nay, I don't care for doctors, Sam.
Why don't you care for doctors?
Well, happen they'd want to operate on us.
Aye. I don't care for them either, come to think on it. Yeah, but happen we could get a tent and travel around the county fairs. What, we'd be champion curiosities. What, people would pay a shilling to see us.
Nay, I'd object to being a freak like Sam.
Nay, Samuel, there's not wrong with making a little honest brass, lad. And while I've not got it all worked out yet, there's brass in the general idea.
Aye, but it's getting late, Sam. Us can't stay out here all night whilst you works it out.
Why not?
Well, there's Mully waiting up for me at home, Sam.
Well, we can't go on. Not two of us, Samuel.
That's so. But one could stay out here tonight and puzzle out what's best to do. T'other can go home and say not to Mully.
I happen we could do that, Samuel.
It won't be cold sleeping out here for you, Sam. And in the morning I can slip out and bring you a few licks to eat.
Hold on a bit. I don't like that idea. You going home to my wife?
Why not, Sam?
It ain't moral, that's what, Samuel.
But, Sam, since you explained it to me that we're both one like because of this here schizoperennial, why, then when I go home, it's really you too what goes home.
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Now, be sensible, Sam. One of us has got to take a back seat for a while till we gets this thing all figured out.
Aye, that do be true, Samuel.
Well, then, why don't you go away for a few days and we'll both put our thinking caps on, Sam?
Me go away?
You'd enjoy a trip, wouldn't you, Sam?
Well...
You'd have anything you'd want to eat, Sam. And there'd not be Mully to hold you back at all, Sam. You could go anywhere you wants to go, Sam.
Aye, that I could. Eh, but it's sad and all to think of a man giving up the rightful comfort of his hearth and home.
But you
And
could.
going forth an uncherished wanderer on the face of the earth, as you might say. But for the sake of Mully and her peace of mind, I make the sacrifice. Goodbye.
Where you going?
Why, I'll cut across the moor and be in Bradley come morn, then I'll drop in the bank and get a little cash.
Hey, you be careful with my savings account, Sam.
Our savings, Samuel, my lad.
Hey, Sam, will you be back?
Expect me when you see me. Keep the home fires burning, Samuel. Blackpool, by gum. Why, that's near the sea. I'll eat what I choose myself. There'll be gay people at the town of Blackpool. I'll have me a good holiday, I will. I want a platter. A whole platter of fried fish.
Why, sir?
And some peas pudding.
Yes, sir, coming right up.
And some of the best ale you got in the house. And give me some of the best ale in the house.
The best ale, sir?
The best ale, that do be right, now.
Yes, sir, the best.
I'll have this cane here.
This one, sir?
No, not that stick. Give me that one with the gold sort of top. Man's got to have a good walking stick, he does. A half pint of the best ale you got.
Half a pint of the best, sir.
And I want some of that there pudding.
Pudding it, sir.
And some of that custard pie.
Right away, sir.
More ale, man. Bring me more ale.
More ale, sir?
Aye, that's what I said. More ale.
Yes, sir.
And another thing.
Yes, sir.
You should clear out your ears once a day, man.
Yes, sir. What's the matter, mister? You took a bit too much?
I've copped a cold.
Maybe that last half pint I sold you was what done it.
I tell you, I've copped a cold.
Yeah, more likely it's something you put in your stomach. Now...
Are you selling some? Oh, if I weren't sick when I come here in this pub, I am now.
Then you should have your old woman fix you up a mustard foot bath.
I don't want a foot bath. Molly gives me hot rum and treacle.
Well, I ain't selling no rum to the likes of you.
By gum, I should have known better than to expect either sense or pity in the town of Blackpool.
Yorkshire.
That's done it. That's the final insult. First thing in the morning, I'm off home to Molly. Samuel!
What? Oh, it's you, Sam.
Aye, it be me, Samuel.
And you had a good time, Sam.
I do feel that miserable, Samuel. I've copped a cold in my back. Where have you been?
Oh, I was just out for a walk. Going into town now. Mully's waiting for me.
Been to the pub, have you?
No, Sam, I never drink now. I was out just to smoke. Backy smoke. Bothers Mully, it does.
Oh, it does, eh?
What? What's wrong, Sam?
Never read what's wrong. I've just decided it'd be high time I come back home and took my rightful and proper place beside my wife, you Judas.
But, Sam, I thought you wanted to go away and have a fling.
Well, I've had my fling. I've flung. Now it's your turn to go away, Samuel.
Oh, no, Sam, I'm that comfortable. I stay home evenings with Molly and...
Ah, you do, and her, my wife.
Oh, wife, Sam. Remember, we be two people in one. Schizoperennial, you know.
Schizoperennial. Now, don't conflummox me. You've had a comfortable week, Samuel. Now it's my turn. Go away for a visit.
But, Sam, you're the one that likes to go away. I'm the one that likes to stay home.
Oh, by gum. Do I have to stand here to argue with me? Look, I'm hungry. I've not had my tea yet, and I've copped a cold. Now up along, Samuel, like a good chap.
Not me, Sam.
Then I'll go in, too.
And have Molly find out, Sam? Nay, I'll not upset her like that.
Now, look here, Samuel. If I know Molly, she's off to find out sooner or later, so might's well be sooner. Then I can have my tea.
I tell you, Sam, you can't upset Molly. Hey, wait a minute, Sam.
I'll have my tea, Samuel.
Sam! Hey, you can't do that to Molly. Sam, come back here.
Now, just up the steps.
Sam, come here. Don't touch that door.
Oh, yes, I will.
Oh, no, Sam.
Yes.
No.
I want my tea.
Sam, I tell you, Molly.
What's up now? Oh. Two of you. Oh. Get in the house here before anyone sees us. Oh, I never did see the light.
Molly,
Let me sit down. Ah. There now. No. What trick are you playing on me, Sam? Whichever one on you is, Sam Small.
We both are, Molly.
To think you never told me you had a twin brother, Samuel. But one of you, Sam. And when I find out which one of you is Sam, he's off to wish he'd never been born.
Now, hold on, Molly. We're both us. That is, we're both me.
What do you mean?
Well, last week, you see, I ran into a lamppost, something awful hard, and, well, it split my personality, it did.
Hey, what is it you're telling me? The poor Sam split in two?
No, Molly, it's a case of schizophrenia, that's all. We be two persons, but both of us is Sam Small.
Well, if it happened last week, well, oh,
I been with you, and Lee, Sam's been to town of Blackpool.
Hey, you scallywag. Now I see which one is Sam Small's, is
Molly,
me. So thou would go gallivanting round and leave the true wife with a stranger.
Nay, Molly, don't be angry. Hasn't it been better with him away? Haven't I stayed home all week and not got a bit of air?
Aye. You've been so kind and considerate. I knew must be something wrong. I was too happy for it to be true.
Molly Small, do you mean that? Have you really been so happy with yon man whilst I've been away?
Sam Small, I've never been so cherished in all my born days. It's been the best week of my married life.
I see. Well, somehow there ain't much for a chap to say when he finds out he's failed, is there? What I mean is, well, I'd be a poor man to stand in the way of my wife's happiness. So, goodbye, and good luck, Molly.
You see, Sam, I told you I was the man to make Molly happy.
Hold on, Sam, come back here.
What, Molly?
I've got something to say to all this. If this be true, this year's split personality business, what us has got to do is think it out.
Aye, but us has done all the thinking us can think. Why couldn't we all stay here?
Me live with two husbands, bigamy.
But we're both Sam Small, really, Molly.
Aye, true. One husband, schizophrenia.
Aye, we know that, because we be open-minded. But I'm afraid the British law hasn't caught up with such modern things. They'll conclude two husbands is two. No mistake.
Hold on. Either church wedding were only one man.
Then one's married, t'other's not. That's against the law.
Aye, but...
Now, don't interrupt. Well, I've decided. My mother always used to say, when in doubt, go to sleep.
So, Sam?
So I'm off to bed and go to sleep. And you two are outside.
But look here, Molly, I don't like
Neither
it.
do I. But you doubled yourself without my help. Happen you'd best sort it out on the same road. Likewise without my help. Come on, get along with you.
Oh, but Molly...
Get out, and don't come back home till there's not but one of you.
We'd best take a walk and think some more, Samuel.
Aye, Sam.
And stick close to me. I want no tricks from you. I've not had my tea yet.
Have you thought it out, Sam?
Look, I'm fair sick to death of thee. Now be quiet. Here be the lamppost where we first met.
Aye, Sam. We bumped hard, we did. And that's what made us two people, it did.
Aye, that it did. A hard bump split us into two. Mayhap another hard bump.
Now, look, Sam, if you'd stayed in Blackpool...
Now, you look, Samuel, my lad. I didn't stay in Blackpool. I'm right here.
Sam, you has murder in your heart.
You're ruddy right, I has. Come, Samuel, put up your dukes like a Yorkshireman.
But I don't like brawling,
I'll
Sam.
teach you to like it. There and there.
The good book says, if you're slapped on one cheek, turn t'other. There's no instructions what to do when that one gets slapped, too. And that means a chap has to use his own judgment. So, there.
Oh, here I come again. Next time he's in the right spot, I'll let him have one, a good one.
Next time he's in the right spot, I'll let him have one, a good one.
No!
Molly, here's Sam.
Hey, carry him in here. There. Down on sofa, please, Mr. Ruckle.
It will be heavy, Molly.
What's happened to the lad this time, Mr. Ruckle?
Poor old Sam. All I know is he was arguing with Gaffer Sitherwick all evening. Come time to chuck him out, Sam here ran out like a street.
But who hit him? Someone must have fought with him.
No, Molly. He was lying next to the lamppost when I come by. Happen he might have hit into that lamppost.
Poor Sam. In such a hurry to get home. Well, Mr. Ruckle, he's breathing. Guess he'll pull through, he will.
Can I do what more, Molly?
No, Mr. Ruckle. Just shut door when you go, if you would.
All right. Poor old Sam. Too much ale.
Sam, in trouble again.
Nay, Molly, I'm not drunk.
No, of course not, Sam.
I killed him, Molly.
Oh, killed who, Sam?
Samuel.
Samuel who?
Oh, then you forget, Samuel? You forgive us?
Forget who? Forgive who? Sam, what ails you?
Schizoperennial, don't you remember, Molly? Samuel and me. Why, you said...
I only said you'd not get home before chucking out time, Sam.
Well, Molly, you be the best wife in the world.
No, Sam.
Molly, I'm never going down to the Spread Eagle anymore. I'll be staying home and read to you while you knit.
Heaven forbid. I'd never have a moment's peace. Sam, you old scalawag. I like you as you are.
Does you, Molly, huh? But I'm determined. From now on, I'm off to be more like Samuel. He's really my better half.
Nay, you got no but one better half, and that's me. Come on now. Up to bed you go. Bumping into lamppost. Samuel Miller.
You have heard Eric Knight's short story, Sam Small's Better Half, especially adapted for radio by Vernon Olson and directed by Charles Urquhart. Sam and Samuel Small were played by Charles Penman and Herb Butterfield. The original musical score was written and conducted by Roy Shield.